Welcome to BAKANGA land, ladies and gentlemen. Wherever it be that you find yourself in the world, welcome to the Tezok Show. Welcome to the Tezok Show, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate everybody that is showing up. Please go ahead and hit that like button as you are coming in. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Tap your screen. Tap your screen. Hey, Raiderlies, I hope all is well with you. I hope your real life is going all right. Anyways, anyone that is here, their real life must be going all right. So let's not even pretend, right? And if your real life is not going all right, feel free to share with us. See, somebody is eager to come on real early, so I'll let you on. But please, go straight to your point. Guest.
Thank you so much, Bakanga. I really enjoy your work.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, I'd have to say I'm a member of the Church of Bakanga, for sure.
A member of what?
Your church, you could say.
No, it's not a church.
I'm a believer. How's that?
But the point is to not be a believer, though.
No, I really liked your concept of creating.
Are you saying that you're vibing?
I'm vibing, yeah. Let's say that I'm vibing.
So you kind of get where I'm coming from, right?
I do. I really do.
So, but you're trying to find a word to define it, and you can't find one. That's why you're saying, "Oh, I'm a believer. I'm a this." But if you truly follow me, you know that you can't use those words, right? The essence of Bakanga is the nothingness of all things, right? That the whole point of everything is that you eventually learn that everything is nothing. That's the whole point of life. That's the whole point of existence, to eventually learn this simple lesson. Everything is nothing. Yes.
Nietzsche is dead.
Go ahead.
Oh, just Nietzsche. Nietzsche is dead, said God. That's what I heard before.
Exactly. But I thank you for definitely understanding, because it is that change in mindset. Because you don't know who you're going to inspire in your life. You might inspire the next world changer, right? That's why it's important for everyone to upgrade their minds. That's what I call it, a mind upgrade. Like, we human beings are the only machines with software that we think that we ought not to upgrade our way of thinking. Nah, you ought to upgrade your way of thinking all the time. You can't get stuck in the same old thinking way that you were thinking 20 years ago and think that you can survive in a changing world. The world around you is constantly changing. And unfortunately, religion is precisely the opposite. It tries to prevent change, even though it still changes. So I would not like to call it a church per se.
Sure.
If you say it's a congregation, I don't mind that, because I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with human beings socializing, coming together to help the homeless, to do charity work, to do missionary work. I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. Like, the deeds of the Christians themselves, right? Like, the works that they do through their religions is not negative all the time. So we're not over here trying to say, oh, these are horrible people. Nah. So there's definitely aspects to what they do that coming together, right? The whole coming together thing. I don't care if you guys are coming together for Jesus. Coming together is part one of the equation. That definitely, you got to give credit where credit is due. Muslims come together, Buddhists come together, Hindus come together, Christians come together among themselves. That's never a bad thing. It's never a bad thing. What we are criticizing is not the togetherness. We're not criticizing the Christian togetherness, right? They come together to fight each other. They insult each other. They're hypocritical. They lie. The religion is fictitious, but they still come together. And there's a strength in that, especially for what we are as human beings. That's why religious people are so powerful, because this religion is literally a scam.
Absolutely. I've got a point.
And they have numbers, make them appear strong.
I've got a point I'd like to mention.
Go ahead.
And I want your thoughts on it too. Recently, I heard someone say that belief in God or something like that is somewhat instinctive, in that if we hear something or think something that may be there that we don't see, and it might hurt us, we even if there's nothing there, we are wary of that. Yeah, I would say to that, but that would mean people are sharing a fear in something that's not actually there.
It is not necessarily a fear. Fear is the word that we use to define it.
Oh, so
it's a human machine. Let me say this to you guys. Let me make this very clear so people can understand exactly what perspective we are having, so people can have the right perspective, right? Every creature on earth that can think for itself thinks it's a human being. Let me repeat. Every creature on earth that can think for itself thinks it's a human being. Every human being would always consider something above itself and something beneath itself. Usually it understands the things beneath itself, but it doesn't understand the things above itself, so it speculates. For example, take a dog. The way your dog sees itself is inferior to you necessarily. It sees itself as well capable. It just understands that it has limitations, and it thinks it's intelligent, and it just sees human beings like some sort of God, like some sort of divine creature. That's how a dog sees human beings. You know, dogs know that if I do this, these humans will give me anything I want. That's his intelligence. Just the same way that humans know that if they pray to God, somehow God is going to answer their prayers. It's just a matter of perspective and consciousness, right? So when we're really looking at the human world and we look at how religions are formed, we have to take that into consideration, that at the end of the day, we are just living things.
Yes.
Every living thing from within itself wants to give itself value. The first state of value is wanting to give yourself a name, right? You want to be identified as something. There is no name in this world that can truly tell you who a person is. A person's name is not what they are, even though that's what it's supposed to be. A name is supposed to describe a person as they really are, right? But we call ourselves by names just as a form of identification, not really as a form of explanation. For example, why is a rose a rose? Why do we call a rose a rose? Is it because it's rosy? Or did we just give it that name just because, you know? We give ourselves label, Christians, Muslims. Fundamentally, those people come together. I will never criticize that, like I said. The confusion happens when they come and they mix up.
It is when they try to give other people a name that the issue becomes apparent.
Oh man, I always miss the comment section. I always miss the comment section. You know, some of you are being very triggered, but I'm giving you information that it's been in your face since the day you were born. They just never taught you about this, right? You don't go to school and they teach you. Hold on, okay. Let me put it this way. The one thing that's a fact in our reality is the concept of numbers. Numbers are essentially the building blocks of reality. Everything is numerical in nature. Everything is like a Lego of numbers being put together. That's what everything is like. Reality itself is a problem. A bunch of numbers mixed together that needs to be solved. Consciousness is an algorithm that dwells in a machine that organizes numbers. So anything that is conscious has the ability to organize the numerical aspect of reality and put it into what we call order. That is fundamentally how all minds work together with all things. This is an indisputable fact, regardless of what religion you come from.
Yes. The issue is, of course, when people try to share ideas, share beliefs, share information, share knowledge, and things can go astray.
I like when people say I have nothing to Listen, y'all, it's time for y'all to wake up and understand that the little box that you've been putting yourself in is too small. The world is vast. The world is vast, and you have the ability to learn so much more. Your religion is keeping you ignorant and is stopping you from exploring life for what it is. There's so much you can learn. You're a Muslim, become a Christian so you can see exactly what this Christian thing is all about. Look, if you're a Muslim and you've never been religion, you might as well do it. Just go find out, right? And if you're a Christian, you've never been a Muslim, try Islam. Try it just to see. So you can understand what we're talking about. Some of you are stuck in one religion and you don't even understand what we're talking about. Now, I asked a question up here. This is my question for today, my main question for today. Does not believing in God automatically make a person a bad person? Brother, I want to thank you so much, but this is the point of conversation that I want people to come up and talk with me about today. Anyone that is coming up, let's talk about this subject. Let's talk about what's written up here. Does not believing in God automatically make a person a bad person? Because if it doesn't, then God is not always a necessity. Then God is not a necessity. If we can all agree that not believing in God would make a person a bad person, then we all kind of have to compromise and just go ahead and believe in God, because we want to be on the safe side after all. But if you tell me that a person can still be a good person without believing in God?
The issue is, what do you mean by bad?
I don't even want to specify so that everyone can fit in. I want everyone to be able to fit in regardless of your definition of God.
Yep.
So I want everyone to think for themselves and ask themselves this question. Does not believing in God automatically make a person a bad person? You need to think about this question, because your religion makes you not think about this type of questions, because your religion knows that if you think about this type of questions, you might not need your religion anymore.
I had a conversation once where I was discussing religion with a few people, and one man who said that, his way, Christianity, was the right way. And someone else responded and said, well, what about the rest of the world, the 70-odd% that don't believe, or however many percentage it was? Are they... What about them? What do you think of them? Do you think they are, bad for not following Christianity? And his response was, well, they're not right.
You see, because his belief is contingent on other people being wrong and him being right? So they can be the only ones that are right. That's the perspective of every religious person. They are the only ones that are right. Like, if you are not the only one that's right, then your religion all of a sudden loses value, which is so unfortunate, right? But anyways, bro, thank you for your time, brother. Let me go on to the next guest.
Thank you.
I appreciate you.
Have a lovely day. Appreciate you too. Thank you so much.
Does not believing in God automatically make a person a bad person? What's going on, bro?
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing all right.
Hello. Are you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah. You know what? Bad or good or what? All those things is illusion. So, there is only one thing about a religion. Whosoever believe, either you believe that God exists or not, all of those people, they have no proof, because even the bad you are talking about, it depends. Sometimes you can do something, someone say it's bad, someone say it's good. So there's a lot of stuff in this world. Do you understand me? Yeah, so you will find that. So even the word bad is gonna be a lot of things. So this thing here in this world. So I like the statement or which you said, religion at it on. At almost all the religion. I once tried to read basically the 6 major religions of this world, and then I came with an understanding. Oh, this thing is a hell. But I'm not saying like that, because some people don't understand the religion, don't understand the wars of religion, a lot of things that is caused by a religion. religion. And so I'm trying to say, so because of the bad and the good, people will say, you said what, does not believing in God automatically make a bad person? No.
If the answer is no, then we don't really need God. That's the simplest logic. That's the simplest logic. That's all. I'm not even trying to make it too complicated. That's
no,
if,
brother.
if the answer is no, then humanity doesn't need God.
Wait a minute. I think here we have a lot of perspective towards even the vision of who is God. Do you understand all the stuff? We have a lot of things about this.
Let's not. The reason why I don't want to go in details is because I want everybody to be able to fit in, right? Everybody has a different definition of God. That's fine. All I'm asking is, based on your own personal definition of God, does a person not believing in your definition of God make them a bad person? Because if a Muslim does not consider an unbeliever a bad person, then guess what? Then there's nothing wrong with Islam and there's nothing wrong with the unbeliever. Something only becomes wrong when one person thinks that something is wrong with another thing. Anyways, bro, I appreciate you for your time, bro. Okay?
Okay, sharp. Thank you.
Absolutely. If you're a religious person, this question is for you. Do you truly believe that no one can be good unless they are of your religion? I want to re-ask this question because Christians like to just say it loosely. I want someone to come up here and explain to me in a logical, justifiable way how a person is a bad person just because they don't believe in your God. The devil is the creator. So there was war in heaven, right? Religious people, let me tell you a story. If you're a religious person, get a chair, get some coffee, get some tea, get some bread, and listen. Listen to this story that they never told you, but it's in the Bible. There was war in heaven, right? And the devil lost because he didn't have numbers. He only had 1/3 of the angels, so he lost the war, right? That's what your religion says, right? Okay. Then, because he lost the war, he came to this planet called Earth, and he wanted to create soldiers. Hello.
Hi. How's it going?
Hi, I'm doing all right. If you don't mind, just give me like a minute or two. Let me finish this thing that I'm saying.
Okay, go ahead, finish.
Anyways, when the devil lost the war in heaven, he came to the earth and he needed soldiers. So he went to work, him and his scientists, and they used their DNA to create more soldiers. That army of soldiers that they were creating is what we know as human beings, right? So the devil created human beings so that we could join his army so he could go back to heaven and fight God. But what happened is that when the devil put us in the garden, God snuck in as a serpent and made us eat the fruit. The devil created a sentient being, except it didn't give it the ability to think for itself completely, right? That's the God of the Bible. In that place in the book of Genesis where he puts man in the garden, that's actually the devil putting man in the garden. And he gets man to name the animals. He's kind of trying to train man because he wants to use man as a soldier. But he tells man not to eat of the tree of good and evil because that tree will give man the ability to think for himself. So God, the creator, supposedly, who is really the devil, he prevented man from eating from the tree of good and evil and from the tree of life. right? And then Jesus snuck into the garden as a serpent. Jesus was the serpent in the garden. He snuck in there and he tempted Eve to eat of the fruit that the devil told Eve not to eat. And then Eve ate of the fruit. And Jesus was right. The serpent was right. The serpent said she wouldn't die if she eat the fruit. And she didn't die. So guess what? When the devil comes, he realizes that man has eaten of the fruit of good and evil. So now man can think for himself. Just like the devil, the gods, right? This is the real version of what happened in Genesis. The one that you guys call God is actually the devil. They just switch the words around. All right. What's up?
Yeah.
Rose?
I just came in, so I didn't hear what the other guy said. But you're not religious, right?
Say that again?
Oh, I just said that I just came in live right now. I didn't hear the other guy speak. Like, someone else was on here, but I didn't hear what they said. But answering the question, though, I don't think it makes you a bad person. This is coming from a Muslim. Because the thing is that if we were to say that if you don't believe in Allah, or if you don't believe in God, that you're a bad person, ultimately that's judging somebody. And, like, we're not supposed to be judging other people. You know what I mean? And the same thing goes for Christians. I also used to be Christian. I don't think anyone believes truly that you are a bad person because you don't believe in a God. We would just say, well, but I don't know what other people said on here.
Listen, I have no problem with your religion.
But I don't know what
I don't care what your religion is. If you truly think like that, then you and I can be best friends. I don't care if you're a Muslim or a Christian.
Mm-hmm.
I'll respect your religion. I'll respect everything you do as long as you understand that if I don't believe in your religion, it doesn't make me a bad person.
Yeah, it doesn't. No,
and I appreciate you because that's your way of thinking, right? And with religious people, you can only take it one person at a time, unfortunately. So because you have said this to us, we can respect you because we know that you're not approaching us from a judgmental perspective. But you know that we are okay. You just share your religion with us just to give us another option. So if we're like, hey Rose, what's your religion? You're like, I'm a Muslim. I'm like, oh, what's Islam all about? And then you tell me, and then I'm like, oh, cool. Okay, I have a friend, Rose, who's a Muslim. And if one day I'm curious, I'm like, hey, so what do you guys go do in that building? You're like, oh, we pray. You want to check it out? I'm like, okay, sure, yeah. I come there out of curiosity, and then I'm like, oh, it's kind of cool, but it's not my taste. And you're like, oh yeah, fine, no, sure, no problem.
Yeah, that's exactly what it should be.
Yeah, we live life just like that. We don't.
Yeah, well, then we just say may Allah guide you, but that's your choice. If you don't believe in Islam, okay, cool. That's your own. Your belief is yours, mine is mine.
How old are you, Rose?
19. But I look fairly
Very
young,
good.
So.
Very good. Your generation is a generation that I call the generation of hope. Because those of you who are 20 and below, if my generation, we are like 20 and above, right? 20 and above, but younger than 40. We have a responsibility to elevate the thinking of you who are 20 and above. And I like the way you think because your version of Islam is not aggressive. Your version of Islam is an improved version because it doesn't affect your ability to coexist with your fellow creature ideologically. Like, you're making it clear to us that you don't care what we are. You don't think that it makes us a bad person. So you know what? We don't think you're a bad person too. We don't care what any other Muslim does. That's how the world is supposed to work. Every Muslim needs to make it clear to people like that. But some people in their religion, they think that if you don't believe in their God, you're a bad person, unfortunately. And that's what makes religion toxic.
Exactly. You know what's crazy is that I go to a Christian university, right? And that's already one thing. But a lot of the people there, whenever I mention I'm Muslim, they'll look at me differently. But it's like, you believe in Christianity? Fine. Believe that. Why do you have a problem with me being Muslim? Like, it just doesn't make sense.
No.
Sorry?
I say it doesn't make sense.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. People just... I don't know how to explain it, but they feel so, like, entitled into their own religion that they believe that we all should be. like a part of the religion. But no,
Right.
I've seen some lives on here where people say that we should all convert to Christianity or we should all convert to Judaism. But it's like religion's your own path. Like if you don't agree with Islam or you don't agree with Christianity, then that's your own choice at the end of the day. But you're an atheist, right? You're an atheist, I'm guessing.
No, I'm not an atheist.
Oh.
And I'm not a theist either. I'm a BAKANGA.
Oh, I never heard of that. You mind explaining?
That's why I said BAKANGA is the way.
Oh, yeah, but I don't know what is that exactly. Like I've never heard of that.
keep coming to the TEDx show and you will hear about it. You know, that's absolutely what's gonna happen. Where are you located?
I was born in Asia, but I live in Canada now.
Okay, so yeah, definitely go ahead and subscribe to the TEDx show. You see the subscription stars up there, and stay with us. I really love your way of thinking, and stay with us, because a person like you, your way of thinking, you're the reason why no matter what you go ahead and do in life, people who think like you at your age, you guys are the ones that are going to make a huge difference in the future. Because like I said, religion is becoming obsolete, because it's going to slightly improve to the point where what we know as religion today is going to completely change 200 years from now, right? Human beings won't even see the need to, like, either people are going to be so comfortable with who they are, they won't even need to be identified religiously, or religion will just become like, you know, like a luxury, something that you just do for fun. You know, in the future, human beings would have solved so many problems, and they will be living such a different life from us, which we are compared to those who were here 100 years ago. Think about the toilet systems wherever you are, and think about the fact that you have toilets. 100 years ago, everywhere you went, it smelled. Even here in the United States, in Canada, wherever you have good sewage systems, they didn't have good restroom toilet systems. We already live in a completely different world. Imagine what the world would be like 200 years from now. So we have to improve with our thinking and accommodate the changes that happen in the world. And those who don't have the ability to kind of like undergo the metamorphosis, those people usually are the causes of wars and conflict. Thank you for your time, okay, Rose?
Yeah.
I will tell you what BAKANGA is. Come back to my show next time. Definitely follow me and subscribe if you can. Right? If you can. And then, or just keep in touch. And every time you get a chance to come up here, let's talk. Next time you come up, let's just talk about what BAKANGA is, and I will explain it to you. And once I explain it to you, then you would explain it to yourself, and then you will understand it.
Okay. Have a good
Thank
day.
you. I noticed a strange pattern with Islam, Christianity, and Judaism. Please be patient with me, my guest. Let me say this. I noticed that the relationship between Christianity, Judaism, and Islam is the fact that the Jews are simply stuck with Moses and they reject Jesus and Muhammad, right? Meanwhile, the Christians reject Moses and they created their own new prophet, right? So the Christians answered to Jesus, but the Jews answered to Moses, and the Muslims answered to Muhammad. But you see, the Jews came first, then the Christians, then the Muslims. The Christians stole from the Jews, and the Muslims stole from the Christian and the Jews. So now what the world is waiting for is for someone to steal from the Jews, Christians, and Muslims to create the next great religion, or the next great way of thinking. And that way is BAKANGA. The way of nothingness. It's more technologically advanced. BAKANGA is a more technologically advanced way of thinking. BAKANGA It's an elevated way of thinking in response to the technological advances and the social advancements that have taken place in society ever since the dawn of human thinking. It is the neutrality that is necessary to deal with a universe where chaotic forces occur in random motions, into the unpredictability of an advanced civilization of what we have become. Bakanga is the way to think. Those old ways of thinking, they cannot usher us into the next generation. Time has come for us to physically become gods. It's time for humanity to wear the title of God physically, because we have officially reached the ranks of God. As physical living gods, yes, it's true. We still live as gods. We rule over the earth as gods. Human beings are some sort of demigods, for sure. We have an authority. So it's time for us to physically wear it, right? And stop worshiping gods outside of ourselves. It's time to look within, but just looking within is not enough. You have to know where to look within. And where is it that you're supposed to look within? Within your imagination. What's up, Black?
What's up?
What you got for me?
I'm trying to find out what you got for me. Bakanga? What is that?
You're the one that came up here, so I'm wondering what brought you here.
I'm listening to you talk. You got this thing saying the devil is the creator. Who's the devil? What's that?
The God in the Bible, the one that created heaven and earth, and the one that put man in the garden, that's actually the devil. And the serpent.
Okay, how'd you come up with that?
Okay.
Interesting. How do you come up with that?
Yeah. So you see how there was war in heaven, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you know how the devil only had 1/3 of the angels, right?
I heard that. Go on.
Yeah. Okay. He lost the war because he didn't have numbers. So logically, he's thinking to himself, strategically, what do I need to do? I need to increase my numbers. So him and his 1/3 of the angels, who are very scientifically advanced, they know how to create living creatures. They come on this earth, they seed the earth, and they create an environment, and they make man. They create humanity. And they create humanity with the destiny that humanity will eventually join their ranks, and they make humanity a creature that can multiply. And so they could boost up their numbers. Hold up. So that they could boost up their numbers and go back to heaven and wait.
You give me a whole bunch of things here. Where you get that information from?
Let me finish, and then I'll give you a chance. I'll give you a chance to criticize. Let me just finish. It's not long.
No, I'm not even. Hold on. Let's be clear. I'm not criticizing. I'm simply asking, where did you get the information from? It sounds. Don't worry
about where I got it from. I ain't telling you. Even if you gave me $1 million, if you want to think about it, think about it. If you don't want to think about it, don't think about it. I'm not compelling you. I'm not forcing it on you. I'm just shining light onto something that you might have never seen before, and you simply need to think about it.
It's not a matter of light or me not wanting. I'm simply asking as a logical black thinking man. You're putting a premise forth. You're putting forth some statements, some positions. I'm simply saying, you got a position that the devil is God and this and that, etc. The Christians have a perspective. The Muslims have a perspective. They have a reason why they believe what they believe. They have a source for why they believe what they believe. Now you coming in, you selling me something else. And I'm saying, in your bag of tricks, what the hell you selling? Where did it come from? How'd you come up with this? It can't start with you. How old are you, Brandon?
It started with me. Oh, hold on. Why can't it start with me? Why can't it start with me?
Okay. How old are you?
Older than you.
Okay, that's cool. So I ask you this. 100 years ago, where were you? What was your name?
Right. I was right here.
What was your name?
I had no name.
Do you remember 100 years ago?
Yep.
See, I'm trying to show you something. I'm not going to buy into you or you nor the Muslims or the Christians any nonsense you selling me because you woke up one morning, drank the wrong cup of tea, ate the wrong kind of food, and now you got some kind of bullshit story just like everybody else. You trying to look for
You
followers
see,
just like everybody else.
you're not
And you
listening. You're
send
not
me,
listening to
you
me. You're not
sending me your
listening to me. You
nonsense.
see,
You
your
sending me your
reaction right
nonsense,
now,
and,
your
and,
reaction
and
right now is
looking for
evidence.
everybody on TikTok to
Brother,
join you.
brother, your
But you
reaction
can't
right now is
verify what it is
evidence
you're
that you
saying.
didn't listen to my warning. Your reaction right now is
What's your warning?
evidence. I told
What's
you
your
that
warning?
I'm not trying to persuade you that I don't care if you believe me, that you shouldn't approach what I'm saying based on the standard that you are setting. I simply want you to think about what I'm saying. Don't worry about where I got it from. Don't worry about what I'm trying to convince you about. Don't worry about the fact that it's just another story. Just think
It's not.
about it and then throw it away. I don't even care if you remember it after this conversation. I just want you to
Do
think
you
about it
understand?
as neutrally, listen, bro,
As
as
you
neutrally
as you
as
understand what think
possible.
means. When you say think about it, what does think mean? Do you understand what you're asking me to do?
Okay,
You're asking me to
good.
process your
Let
information.
me tell
You're
let me
asking me
tell
to
you how to
weigh the
think about it.
information.
Let me
You're asking me to look
let
at
me
the
show you how to think
information.
about it.
Yeah, go
Let me
ahead.
show you. Let me show you how to think about it. I appreciate you asking that because in the Western world, they often don't teach you guys naturally from a young age how to think, right? It's just a skill you learn on your own, or no one really ever teaches it to you. You either develop it on your own or you don't, right? So if someone says to me that the devil is the creator, I'll first of all ask myself, is it possible or is it not possible? Now, if it's not possible that the devil is the creator, I need to ask myself why it's not possible. But guess what? I don't even get to that point because it is possible that the devil is the creator. If it's possible that the devil is the creator, logically, regardless of where the source comes from, what is the chances that the stories written in the Bible have actually been corrupted in that way? Does it make logical sense? Okay, fine. Then now I'm curious. Why would this person say the thing he's saying? Then I'll start asking the questions that you're asking, right? What? I'm not asking you the question with some type of preconceived notion that I expect a specific answer from you that will satisfy me. No, I'm just
No, you know what's
curious.
going on right now? Hold on. You
What's
know what's
going
going on right now?
What?
I'm not questioning with a preconceived notion. What you're doing is you're boxing me in and you're looking at my questions with your
Brother, I am
preconceived
saying
notion.
based on
My
your
questions
reaction,
is
you told me that it's just
no,
another bullshit
follow
story.
me,
Didn't you refer to
follow
what I
me,
just said? Like, hold up. Didn't you refer to
follow
what
me.
I said by if I don't give you a source, then it's just another bullshit story like the ones you've heard before, right?
Listen, the point I'm making to you is
No, hold up. Didn't
every
you say
single
didn't you
thing
say that though?
has a beginning. Everything has a
Didn't,
beginning. Everything has
don't
a
worry
source.
about the
Everything
beginning,
has a beginning.
bro.
So I'm saying to
When
I'm saying to you, your thinking process that you're putting across here tonight, you're saying to me that the devil is a creator. Hey, that's cool. That's what you got there. I'm simply saying to you, if you're selling this to me, you got my attention. How? Why? What? Where?
I'm not
What?
selling it to you. I'm not selling it to you.
Then why is it on?
Just so you can see it. That's it.
That's selling it to me. You're showing it to me.
No, bro. If I put up, for example, if I put up an ad, right? The ad is not forcing you to buy. The ad
Notice
is
now
just,
you're using
the ad
different
is letting you
words.
know
You're
that it
saying
exists.
forcing.
Bro, listen, man, hold up. The ad is simply letting you know the product exists, right? You get to make a choice if you want to be interested or not. If you don't want to be interested,
That's
you go
selling.
about your day. You go about your day. It doesn't bother
That's
the person
selling.
who put up the ad. Or now Hollywood makes a movie, they don't force you to look at it. Anyone that goes to look at it looks at it from their free will. So guess what? If you came to Bakanga, it's not because Bakanga attracted you, it's because you got curious. So it is you that is the reason why you are here, not me.
Hey, listen to me, Bakanga, or whatever your name is. I'm simply saying to you, you're saying force. No one forces me to do anything. So that's not the issue for me. What I'm saying to you is you're advertising, whether you like to believe it or not. You're here on TikTok, you're on a stream, you're in a forum where people look at things. And so you put something up because you want people to view it. You want me to view it. I'm one of the people. Now, I might not be the one you chose, but I'm one of the people that viewed what you put up. So you're selling to me. You're not forcing me.
No,
you're selling me an
selling to
opportunity.
you,
You're saying,
and wanting you
look
to
at
view it
this.
is two different things. Selling to you and wanting you to view it is two different things, bro. You don't go and sleep with every woman you see. Just because she dressed and wear a bikini. That's your mentality. You're saying I'm selling to you. You're saying that she's inviting you to come and touch her body just because she wore revealing clothes. No. You choose to go and touch her body. If I put up information, you choose if you want to view that information.
You know, that's a very interesting illustration you gave. So let's deal with that. That woman that wears the bikini, she may not specifically want me to touch her body, but she wants somebody to touch her body. I may not be that person. You may not be that person, but she has somebody she may want. The person may be home.
Brother, what if she just wants to dress and let the wind feel the wind with her skin? That's all she wants. What if that's all she wants?
Well, if she only wants that, she can do that in a private environment. The minute you step in a public
Why can't she do it where she wants to? Who is stopping her from doing it when she wants to?
No. Come on, man. You're an intelligent black man. Stop that. You're an intelligent black man.
No. I'm not going to stop that. I'm not going to stop that.
Let me ask you.
I don't understand what you mean by stop that.
Why are you not okay? Why didn't you write the devil is the creator, Bakanga is the way, put it on a damn piece of paper, and leave it on your desk and look at it? Why the hell is it on TikTok? Tell me.
It's on TikTok. Because I want people to see it, and I'm using it to.
She's wearing the bikini for the same reason. Cut your nonsense out. Cut your nonsense out.
Brother, I think that you're playing linguistic gymnastic with me. Listen to me.
No.
I never said. I said to you that I put it up because I want people to view it, but I'm not selling it to you, right? So I'm not telling you that you should choose it. I'm not telling. Hold on, bro.
I'm agreeing with you.
I simply want you to see it.
She wants people to view
think about it.
And she wants people to view about it. That's why it's out there.
Okay,
Same thing you're doing.
But there's nothing wrong with that.
Listen, I didn't say something was. I'm saying if you don't want people to view it and think about it and make decisions, and keep it private. But listen what I'm saying to you about this. The devil is the creator is a very powerful statement. You're a black man.
That's to you. It's only a powerful statement. It's only a powerful statement in your mind. There's people who don't even know anything about a Jesus or a devil or a creator, right? You're not the only one that came through TikTok. The only reason why you think that is because of you. It has nothing to do with me. All I did was put up a statement, and you are reacting to the statement based on your upbringing and your own personal experiences. So it's a powerful statement to you, not to me. It's not a powerful statement to me. To me, it's just a statement.
It's true. So you made a very valid point. And that's why it's not powerful to you, because of your upbringing or what your state of mind is. My simple statement to you is this. The devil is a creator is a powerful statement to me. So when I saw it, it piqued my interest. I'm saying this guy knows something that I would like to find out where he's got it from, how he's thinking, what is behind that statement. So I'm inquiring. The reason I'm inquiring is because a lot of people come and say stuff, and they say it for saying its sake. I'm checking out if you have something behind this. There's a level of knowledge, there's a level of intelligence, there's a level of wisdom, which is a statement. So I'm asking questions so that you could further enlighten me on your perspective or what it is you put up. That's why I'm asking. I don't come with any other preconceived notion other than I want to know what's going on. Well, and so I come asking questions because, and life is like this. Everybody comes with a bias. So I bring mine. I don't deny that. I can only ask you from the perspective that I have.
Now that you put it like that, now that you put it like that, let's get back to the subject at hand then, right? Right. Because I have other guests in line. But since you're an interesting guy, I will definitely talk to you for longer. Let's get back to the subject at hand. Repost your question. Now that we understand that there's no need for hostility, just repost your question.
All right. So my question once again is, when you say the devil is the creator, where do you get that concept from? Why is it important to state that, and how does that work? I hear what you're saying, and for me, when you mention devil or creator, especially when you mention devil and creator in the same sentence, it has a Judeo-Christian Islamic background. The concept is. So I'm trying to understand in those concepts which it comes from and establish this particular line of thought, how do you swap the roles of it and make, when the devil is, the bad guy and these other things, how do you make him the all-encompassing, all-powerful guy? That's what I'm saying. Why that choice?
Okay. The Bible and Judeo-Christian religions are indeed at the core of the reason why I put that statement up. That part, you are correct. It does have that vibe. It's inescapable, right? Specifically Christianity. Muslims are not too passionate about the devil and God conversation as Christians are. Now, once I overcome the religion of Christianity, so many things became easy to understand. And one of those things is the fact that if you really look at it, the Bible can be interpreted in any way you want it to be. So this is simply an interpretation that I can back with Bible scripture. Like, I can literally preach to you using the Bible that God, Yahweh, is actually the devil. Actually, there's a way to look at the Bible that way that makes 100% sense. You just have to start the story from the beginning that way. Because when you are first introduced to the Bible, you're not introduced to the Bible with a neutral mindset. You're already going to the Bible having a definition for God and the devil. So when you read things that God does in the Bible, you don't really judge God based on his actions. You just judge him based on his words. But if you judge him based on his action, it completely changes his character. It changes his character from the title of God to actually the devil. So when you look at the actions of the characters in the Bible, the God creator person that the Jews worship, that person characterizes a devil more than the actual entity that they call Satan, right? His actions in the book are more devilish. Hence,
that's pretty interesting. That's pretty interesting. But here's where I try to understand what you're saying. When you say devil and you say the devil is the creator, I will tell you this. The devil is a creator. Him being the creator, making him exclusively the master creator, not at all from what I understand the concept to be. But when you say the devil
in this specific context, I'm talking specifically of the human race. The devil is the one that created us using his DNA. We are the descendants of those that fell from heaven.
Now, that is quite a definite statement. So here's what I say to you. When you have a definite statement like that, what is the source of that statement so I might be convinced that that's truth? Because
in the Bible,
when you look,
at the devil, right? Because listen, like I said, I'm not coming here as a person who doesn't believe in God. Let's assume for 1 minute that I believe in God just like you. I'm giving you an alternate interpretation of what the Bible says.
No, I got you. I'm just simply trying to put it together to make, everything has to make sense at some point. So I'm hearing your concept. I'm exploring to see how I can make it make sense. When I think of the concept of devil, the devil concept is a Judeo-Christian Islamic concept. And so it is good and bad. When you see devil being a creator according to the Islamic as well as the Christian faith, this is a belief system. Satan or the devil is a creature that chose to do something different from his original creator gave him. So that means his title devil actually means that he's in opposition to the way of the original creator. That's what it means. So when you say now he is the original creator and now has a title devil, if he's the original creator, then he's no longer devil. He's just simply a creator because he doesn't oppose what he does. The devil got his title from being in opposition to what the creator gave him to do. So it's a concept you're talking about. And I'm trying to understand how could you give the devil the original concept when the devil is a secondary concept based on his title.
What I am trying to tell you is that all you need to do is flip the roles. The one that you call Satan, that is actually the mighty, the almighty. And the one that you call God, that is actually the devil.
Okay, so if he's the almighty, how does he get in both books, the Quran as well as the scriptures, how does he get to be kicked out of the place where he resided if he's the original?
He's not the one that got kicked out. He's not the one that got kicked out of the place that he resided. It never says that anywhere. You want to go flip the Bible and look at it? No, hold up. Even Jesus says that the devil is the god of this world. He is the god of this world. He doesn't tell you from how long he's been the god of this world or when he started being the god of this world, but he's been the god of this world. When the Jews tell Jesus that we are of our father Abraham, Jesus says, no, you're of your father the devil, who was a murderer from the beginning. The God of the Jews, the Yahweh, Jehovah. Jesus referred to Jehovah as the devil.
No.
Yes.
No, that's not correct.
Yes.
Where?
The Jews, what God did the Jews worship?
No. Hold on now.
No.
You said that Jesus
What
referred to.
what
I
God
don't
did
want to
the
change
Jews in
that.
the
I want you.
what
That's a
God
very
did the
powerful
Jews?
point.
What
Establish
God
that
did
point so I might come with it.
hold on, brother. What God did the Jews in the days of Jesus worship? What God did they worship?
Yahweh or
Okay.
Yahweh.
Yes. And when they told Jesus that that was their God, Jesus told them that yes, they're correct. They are of that God who is the devil. Because if they knew his father who sent him, they would have known that that God is the devil.
That's not what he said.
That's what he said.
That's not what he said.
Flip
No,
it.
he didn't say that.
Look for it. That's bro.
No, he didn't say
Listen
that.
to me. Listen to me, bro.
No.
Listen.
What he
Check
said.
this out.
No,
Let me show
I
you
mean,
the
you're making a
parallels.
point.
Let me
You're
show you
making
the
a point.
parallels. Let me
You're
show
making
you
a
the
point, but just
parallels.
for clarity,
Hold on, let me show you the parallels.
he
Let me
didn't
show you the
say that. He
parallels.
told them when they were trying to say that they were of his father, and he said, no. You're not of my father, because you would have known. You would have
Exactly, because
recognized
the
that I'm
Father
his
is not the
son.
same God that
He
they are
said,
worshiping.
no, hold on. He said you would have recognized that I was his son, but because you don't recognize me, you are of another kingdom. You are
Bro,
of your father, the fallen one, the
the Jewish
disobedient one,
God,
the
the Jewish
confused
God
one,
doesn't have sons like
the one
that.
who
The Jewish God
authorizes
doesn't have
confusion.
sons that are men. According to the Jewish tradition, men are not sons of God like that. They are adopted sons of God, but they are not like, they cannot claim equality with God. That's why the Jews saw Jesus as a blasphemer. The religion that Jesus was preaching in the Bible, it was against the religion of the Jews. He was preaching the
That is
opposite.
true.
He was preaching the opposite of what they were preaching.
No, that is
and they were preaching what
not the
Moses was preaching.
opposite. Listen, not opposite, but you are correct that he was preaching something.
Why you mute yourself? I'm not talking about my feelings. It's your responsibility to go and study your Bible. It's your responsibility to go and study your Bible.
Listen,
right?
let's not go there. Let's not go there. Fix that.
Let me make this clear for Christians. No, hold up, bro. Hold up. Please. Listen, I still have to run my show, right? I know we're having a conversation, but I still have to make my statement that I make regularly on my show, right? So check this out. I'm responding to a comment section. Right. My dear Christians, with all due respect, you are the most exposed people in the world. Everybody sees you. Everybody knows what you're all about. Everybody knows about your religion. Everyone is observing you. We perhaps know you better than you know yourself. You can't fool us, right? We understand Christian behavior. We understand how Christians think. Most Christians don't know the difference between what their pastor tells them in church and the information that they got from actually just reading the Bible by themselves. They don't know the difference. You have spent your whole life listening to the opinion of literally thousands of men, confuse you, give you contradicting, flipped upside down versions of everything in the Bible, that you really think that the Bible is a book that you can just flip randomly and read it and suddenly it will make sense to you. If you don't read the Bible from the beginning to the end in chronological order, the way any other book, the way the flow of nature is designed, you don't know what's written in the book. That's just common sense. You don't take a book and open it right in the middle and think you have a clue of what it says. You have to read it from Genesis to Revelation in chronological order. Chronology is time. Chronology is order. Chronology is wisdom. Chronology is the basis by which we communicate. Without chronology, there is no knowledge, there is no wisdom, there's no understanding. If you have never read the Bible in order from the beginning to the end, without skipping left and right, guess what? You have never read the Bible. You don't even know what the book says. You've just used bit and bits to create your religion out of it. That is literally what Christianity is. If you read the Bible from the beginning to the end, you come to the conclusion that I have come to. The bad guy masquerades himself as the good guy and pretty much wages war on the good guys. It's like Star Wars. The bad guy controls the good side and the bad side. It's a fun game for him. The one that you guys are calling God is actually the devil, but you guys are gullible, so you cannot see it by his actions. It says, by your fruit you shall know them. God had the possibility to save. God could have saved everyone in the days of Noah. He could have literally saved them. He could have made a utopia on earth, right? Because he could have.
Why didn't he?
Or he takes pleasure in the pain and destruction of other living things.
Why do you think that?
because he is the devil. And man turned out to not be the way he wanted man to be, because he wanted to create an extra army. But the armies that were in heaven infiltrated the garden that the devil was building his future soldier, and they corrupted it by messing with the experiment. The experiment that the devil was doing was he created a sentient being, but it didn't give it full sentience, right? So the last step of the creation was for the devil to give man the fruit of good and evil. Have you ever wondered why the fruit of good and evil was in the garden? Have you ever wondered why the fruit of life was there? It was inevitable for him to cultivate a soil that he could use as clay for the raw material to design the human machine, the human being. He was creating a soldier when he was creating Adam, a being that could harness energy within itself, and that he could use that being to increase his numbers and wage war back on heaven, because he had just gotten kicked out of heaven.
The devil is going against who? What armies? Where do these armies come from? What are you talking about?
Okay, good. You see, if you let me tell you, I thought I explained it from the beginning, and I thought you understood. Look, there was a war, right, a long time ago. No one really knows what happened back then, right? That's pretty much the nutshell of how the Bible puts it. If you read it in order and you understand it.
A war between who?
In a certain kingdom, in a very far place away. We don't really know between who. What we do know is that where the story begins, one of the people that fought this war finds themselves creating man. And they create man for a purpose.
Hold on now, because we're going good. So if the person finds himself creating man, and he's going to war with someone else, that means at best, at least, his opponent must have been as formidable as he was. Yes, no?
Of course. That's what. Listen, be patient,
brother.
Understand what I'm saying. Somewhere. Just be patient.
Hold on. Before you add another layer to it, let me clear up one layer.
Listen,
so if he's a creator,
the reason why you asked me this question over again is because last time you asked me a question and I didn't finish the train of thought, so I didn't say the things that I was supposed to say. So please just let me say this, then ask your questions later, right? Let me just say in chronology for a little bit. Hopefully it doesn't take me more than a minute. Anyways, this person finds himself creating man. We come to find out later that he's creating man because he needs numbers. Why does he need numbers? Because he lost that war that was fought a long time ago. Why did he lose the war? Simply for the fact that he had lesser numbers, right? He was a dragon. He was quite powerful. He was a powerful entity in that place where he came from, right? And the people he fought against, they themselves were people just like him. They're not necessarily at the top of the food chain, but whoever's at the top of the food chain is neutral. That person doesn't take sides. That person is not, the person doesn't care who wins, right? This being, the supreme being, the true supreme, is a neutrality.
You realize, you realize you're coming up with a lot of conjecture, no facts. It's just what you're thinking in your head. You're just dreaming, man. I'm listening to you, right? And
you spend your whole
started
life
off with something that sounded like it
could have been. You said it could have been, brother. You spend your whole life listening to your pastor
again, because you don't know what I listen to. You don't know what I listen to. But here's what I'm listening to you. You're coming and you're telling me.
Bro, can you stop talking over me when I say bro, please hold up? Because you're throwing the show into disruption. I understand that you want to speak and vocalize yourself, but it becomes rude when you consistently think that you can just speak over me and I should just be okay with it. If you don't want to have a coherent conversation, I can respectfully let you go. But please stop talking over me. I don't care what your excuse is. It's still my show.
Go ahead.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Now, I was simply trying to finish the narrative of what I was saying about this version of the story that I'm giving you. You don't need to criticize it. You don't need to call it a conjecture. Just listen. It either makes sense or it doesn't. If it doesn't make sense to you, don't worry about it. Just act like you never heard it. Be indifferent. You are not compelled to judge. You can hear me out without passing judgment.
Please don't judge me.
The reason why I say you shouldn't pass judgment is not necessarily that you can't. You can't. You maybe would, right? Your religion literally, if you are raised in this world, honestly, like me, we're trained to just judge everything before we've understood it, right? Sometimes you got to go sleep on something.
Don't judge me. I'm listening.
You got
I'm listening to you. No
you
judgment.
gotta understand something before you pass the verdict. That's why a judge has to get recess or whatever, the jury. It's the same when we're talking. I'm not gonna change your mind. I'm not gonna persuade you. I'm literally just talking.
I'm only asking questions. I'm a fella. I
It
ask
is fair. I
questions
know that
so
you're
that
only
I
asking
might
questions and
understand.
I'm only giving answers. It doesn't, just because you're
Yeah.
asking questions doesn't justify that you can just do it however you want to and not let me coherently state what I'm trying to state. Considering that I'm the one making the claim. If I'm the one making the claim, you got to hear the whole claim out.
That's a valid point.
The burden of proof is on me, right? The burden of proof is on me.
You made a valid point. I'll give you that. I'll listen to the whole claim.
Exactly. Then you can bury the claim all at once, but you can't chop the claim up little by little. You're just gonna keep making me want to defend it. But if you let me say the whole thing, then you can just slice it all at once and then put it to rest, and then we don't have to keep going back and forth.
I'm listening. Go ahead.
Anyways, the devil created man to add to his army to go back and fight and win a war that he lost. But when he created man, he didn't intend to give man the ability to think for himself. So he prevented man from eating the fruit, right? That will give man the ability to distinguish between his own self-preservation and the self-preservation of another entity, which is good and evil, because good is really just self-preservation, whatever makes you stay alive. And then there was the fruit of immortality, which he had not yet introduced into man, because he didn't know if he could fully control man yet. But guess what? Somebody came and convinced man to eat of the fruit of good and evil. Then man automatically realized that he was naked. So he got a sense of self-consciousness, and he started thinking for himself. And he already had like the best hardware that the devil could find, because the devil found the best materials everywhere in the universe to assemble this being. He was trying to go wage a war, right? Now he can't control this being, because now this being can think for himself. So he can't let the being stay in his lab anymore. He kicks the being out of the lab, or the garden, whatever you want to call it, so that the being will not now somehow go and eat the fruit of immortality. And now, instead of having to just fight the people that he lost the war to, now he has to fight his own creation. But guess what? That's precisely what happened. The serpent that came into the garden came from the army that defeated this person that created humanity. So that serpent is the character that we know as Jesus. From the very beginning, he was in the garden because he was Jesus as the serpent, right? Now, we see the symbolism, the same symbolism for Moses. When Moses raised up the stick is a symbol that he has defeated the serpent. Since the God of Moses was the devil, his enemy is the serpent, and which is that God that came from the heavenly places, right? The God that comes from heaven, the one that's from up top. Moses put that serpent up to show the defeat of the serpents. And likewise, Jesus Christ was crucified, and Jesus even gave his disciples advice. He said, "Be wise as serpents and gentle as doves." Why would Jesus recommend the wisdom of a serpent if he is not the serpent? And on multiple occasions, the Jews called Jesus a blasphemer because he was straight up blaspheming their religion. He wasn't preaching the same religion that they were practicing. That is how I came to the conclusion of what I came through. And I have scriptural verses to back me up all along of what I'm saying. If you have the time, we can go into the scriptures and look at all of it. And you can show me your scripture to back up the popular narrative, and I will show you how there is actually no true scripture to back up the popular narrative.
Can I speak?
Yeah, I'm done.
Very interesting concept. What I do note is it is based on the biblical, if I might say, algorithm of the Bible. That is a Christian, Judaic, historic perspective you gave me with a slight twist. All you did was reassign titles. And my concern with that is that doesn't make it correct. I get your point. I hear the confusion with the serpent and the cross, but the focus wasn't the serpent with the illustration with Moses. In that particular illustration, the focus was the fact that there was a cross. Now, that's a different concept than you'd ever hear preached in Christianity about the intersecting points of the horizon and the vertical, but that's something different. We can't even get into that yet because I know you don't want no part of that conversation. So I'm gonna stick with this one. And when you talk about this war that began in the beginning, you talk about two sides that existed. Two sides existed, and there had to be some level of comparative equality, if only for the sake of fighting.
If you don't mind if I interject here, brother. You see, I'm not a believer in the Bible, and
I
I'm not
let
a
you talk.
Christian.
Just give me a shot. I'm not going to be long.
No, hold up. Let me give you some perspective. It might enlighten you a little bit as to your response, so you don't say things that don't really need to be said. I'm not a Christian. I'm not saying you this that I believe in it, right? I'm not trying to push a narrative. What I'm doing is that I'm showing people how you can create another narrative from the Bible, and you can create your narrative too based on your interpretation, and you wouldn't be wrong because you're going to have Bible verses to back it up. What I'm trying to say is that the Bible is a book that is, religious books are books that are generated to cause confusion because anybody can read it and come to any type of conclusion they want, and there's not necessarily any way to know that it's correct. The version of the story that I just gave you right now is to prove to you that in the world suddenly started preaching what I just told you right now, that would be what Christianity is. Right. I could suddenly started preaching what I just told you right now. Literally, if I start my own church and start doing that, right? But that statement that I just gave you right now is only in my imagination.
I got you. You promised me you're going to allow me to talk, so I'm not going to be long. This is your show. I found it interesting. It's a very interesting perspective you put up there. The only thing I'm saying is anytime influencers like you or me speak, we have to recognize this reverberates globally. I'm in a different part of the world than you are right now. Not in the Americas. I'm in the islands. It's a different part of the world. You have a great responsibility because you are a great man with this kind of thing on your mind. That's a powerful thing. My thing is, as we move to bring clarity to everything that we see and that surrounds us, we have to bear in mind that the responsibility is tremendously great. When you talk about,
I know a responsibility that I have, brother, and I do have a target. I am indeed attempting to cause confusion in people's mind. I am intentionally trying. So anyone that has gotten comfortable in their religion, I am desperately trying to cause confusion in their mind by inserting doubt, because that confusion is like a vaccine. Once they adapt to the confusion, it will elevate their mind and make them catch up to the zeitgeist of the 21st century. We are in 2022, and religion has disconnected so many people. So many people literally live in the Stone Age because they form these beliefs and they hold on to this ideology that makes them see the world based on governing principles that govern the world in an age where man didn't even know anything about gunpowder or anything like that. We live in 2022, a technological world, right? People need to understand that we can rely on technology more than we can rely on our beliefs and our religion. Technology is more reliable than religion.
I listened to you fully, and I sat quietly and waited for the opportunity to speak. So if you just afford, I won't be as long. This is your show. I respect that. But I just wanted to simply say that I see the concept. I'm just pointing out the flaws in the concept. Because if you're searching for clarity or creating clarity,
listen to me. There can be no flaws. There can be no flaws because this is not something that needs to be right or wrong, right? I'm not approaching you, rising your mind. The information I'm giving you is quite literally, listen, bro, it's like air. You breathe it in and then you release it. You don't worry about it. It's like garbage, right? You take it out, you put it in the trash can, you don't think about it. You don't need to approach it based on it being flawed or not flawless unless you are willing to fully commit yourself to it. If you are not willing to fully commit yourself to what I'm saying,
it's very interesting, and therefore I am exploring it for me. Now there are people, if you look at your comments, there are people who are also finding it very interesting. But you won't let me finish. You promised me you'd let me finish.
I won't let you finish because you keep doing something that I keep telling you not to do. Listen, bro. You don't judge me for being black, right? Listen to me, bro.
I let you talk.
Do you think there is a flaw? Do you think there is a flaw? Do you think there's a flaw in the fact that I'm a black man?
If there's a flaw?
Yes.
I don't understand that question. A flaw in being a black man?
Yes. Do you think that there's a flaw in being a white man?
No.
Okay, so why would you think that there's a flaw in anything that I'm saying? When what I'm saying, I'm telling you that this is not something that you need to criticize based on right and wrong, right? Because the essence. Hold on, let me finish explaining and show you why I'm giving you the analogy of if you can criticize me as a black person, right? You cannot criticize me as a black person because being black is natural. This statement that I have made to you is a natural statement that is not offensive in nature. It's not offensive. It's not.
Is mine offensive to you because you don't agree? Because you don't agree with what I'm saying. Watch this now. Because you don't agree with me, I'm wrong. Are you saying you're judging me?
I didn't say you were wrong. I didn't say you. Did I say you were wrong? Did I say you were wrong?
Okay. So the point I'm making is
when you use the word flaw, you're implying that there's a mistake that only you can fix. Because for you to know that there's a mistake, you have to know what's wrong, right? Isn't that what you mean when you say there's a flaw in the concept?
You quoted a scriptural concept. That is not what you wrote.
I didn't quote a scriptural context. I didn't quote a scriptural. I didn't quote a scriptural concept to you. I did not give you a scriptural concept. I did not give you a scriptural concept. I did not give you a scriptural concept, brother. I did not do that. You are misquoting me.
Listen, no. You said that they looked at the serpents. I am explaining to you that's incorrect.
That is my interpretation. That is not your.
No.
Listen, bro.
It was written that they looked at the serpent on the cross. That's a different thing.
This is
so you can't misquote it. But you can't misquote it.
Listen, I did not misquote it. All I said to you is that symbolically, I use the word symbolically.
Yeah, but you listen,
bro.
And you refer to Moses.
As Moses raised up the serpent to depict the defeat of the serpent, because the serpent was biting the people, right? The people needed to fight the serpent, or at least protect themselves from the serpent. The only way that they could protect themselves from the serpent is to look up to the serpent that Moses had carved around the stick, right? The serpent around the stick that Moses had elevated, right? And that serpent even Paul wrote it in the Bible. Just like Moses raised up the serpent, so was the Son of Man raised up, and for the sins of all humanity. So that one serpent that died for the sins of all the other serpents.
You know this thing called scripture. That's what I'm saying. See, if you're here and your real intent.
Listen, bro. What you're saying is that my interpretation is wrong and your interpretation is right. That's what you're trying to say.
You is if you quote what is written that's wrong. If it is written ABC and you quote ACF,
I didn't quote anything. I simply paraphrased to make a statement, right? You are the one that is presupposing. You don't even know what part of the Bible that verse is in.
Listen, you're saying that in the Old Testament, you're saying that Moses said to look at the serpent. That's not the correct statement. It's look at the serpent on the cross. It's not just the serpent. So you then made the serpent Christ or Yeshua.
You see how petty you are, bro. Because that's what happens. Listen, bro. I wasn't putting an emphasis on the people's actions towards the serpent. I said symbolically, right? So just as Moses raised the serpent, how the hell did Moses raise the serpent? With his hands? No, we know that he raised the serpent on a stick, just like Jesus was hanging on the cross. What are you talking about, man? Why? You're just looking for something to fight. You're staying like behind a state line, and you slowly poke your head, and you're poking the wrong things. Because I wasn't trying to be biblically accurate when I was quoting that. I was symbolically making a statement. I wasn't trying to give you chapter and verse, read it in context. No, I'm simply saying Jesus is the serpent, represented by the fact that Moses has to raise a serpent, and by looking up to that serpent that was raised on the stick or whatever Moses did, that's how salvation came to the people, right? Salvation came to the people by looking at the serpent.
He was not the serpent. That's the point I'm making. He was the serpent on the cross. The serpent alone didn't represent him. The sacrificial serpent is what represented that particular person.
That is Yeshua your opinion. That
No,
is
no,
your
you're
opinion.
talking about a specific. See,
The
you
Bible
can't
doesn't
change the
even
source of the
say. The
Judaic
Bible
covenant.
doesn't even say that that
You're
Moses
quoting an
raised the serpent
illustration
on
and
the cross,
attributing
bro.
your
You
own
see, you're
thoughts
not
to
even
what it
quoting me
says.
right. The Bible doesn't even say
Come
that
on,
Moses raised the
Bakanga.
serpent on the
Or
cross.
whatever.
The Bible doesn't say that Moses raised the
Bakanga.
serpent on the cross. It says he put the serpent on his staff, not a cross.
They told him to look at the serpent. They were to look at it. He didn't even raise it.
What
He
was the
raised up his
serpent on? Was
staff
the serpent on his
and
staff
pointed
or on the
towards
cross?
the
Was
serpent.
the serpent on the cross or on his staff?
It wasn't even on his staff. It was on a stick, which was his cross, which was a cross. His staff is what he used to
Bro,
point them in
where does
direction.
it say that in the Bible, bro? Give us chapter and verse. You are lying. The Bible doesn't say
But give
anything
me
about
yours.
cross when
Show me
talking about
yours.
Moses.
Where's
Give me
yours?
chapter and verse.
Where is your statement? I'm gonna get it for you in a second.
No, bro.
Where's your
I
statement?
asked you for chapter and verse first, so you go ahead and comply. Don't play that reverse psychology stuff. It's not gonna work.
Well, you're
Honor the
playing it
statement. I
because
asked you for
you
chapter and
can't.
verse for you didn't ask me for chapter and verse. I asked it from you first. So give
I'm
me the
not.
chapter and
Listen,
verse where it says that
I'm gonna
Moses
look
raised the
for it.
serpent
I'm
on the
looking for it
cross.
right now because I'm no scholar in that area for that particular religion. So I'm gonna just look for it right now so that you can understand that what you're saying
and I
is
guarantee
just
you,
not accurate.
listen, I am a scholar of that book, and I guarantee you won't find anywhere in the Bible where it says that Moses raised the serpent on the cross. It was his staff.
I never said he raised them on a cross. I told you it was a staff.
Yes, you
He
did.
looked.
You said it was a
No,
cross.
he looked. No, he raised his staff and told them to look at the serpent on the cross. That's what I said. Get it correct.
He raised his staff and told them to look at the serpent on the cross?
Yeah, he pointed it towards the cross.
Toward what cross?
I'm gonna look for it right now for you.
Bruh.
Ah.
Bruh. There is no mention of cross when it comes to Moses and the serpent. The word is not cross. You won't find the word cross.
You won't find the word
scripture.
cross.
Bro, you are being arguing with me over something you don't know, bro. I was a Christian for 25 years. I invested a lot of my time to read the Bible and understand it.
You won't find the word stop. You'll find the word pole. And that's in Numbers 21:9.
Bro, it's a pole, a cross, or it's a pole, a staff?
A pole ain't a staff or a cross. How about that?
What version are you reading? You want to play the version games? It's not a cross, it's not a staff, it's a pole. Okay, let me find a version that says staff. Hold up, let me find a version, bro. Watch, bro. Let me find a version that says staff.
21:9. 21:9. Get it.
21:9 of what?
Numbers.
Numbers.
21:9. Read it. It's a pole.
But it for sure don't say cross. No, don't do no but, bro. You lied. You said cross. It doesn't mention cross.
Hey,
you lied.
You lied. You said it was a staff.
Watch, I'll show you.
Read it. King James Version, go with it. KJV, do it. Let me hear it. 9. And Moses made a serpent of brass and put it upon a pole.
King James Version. King James Version. King James Version is just one version. And I don't have a problem with it being a pole because to me, a pole and a staff is the same thing.
No, man. Come on, man. No, man.
We can't hear you. What happened to you?
You can't hear me?
Nah.
King James 21:9 Numbers. And Moses
I see it. The King James and the NIV say pole.
And put it upon a pole, P-O-L-E. Admittedly, that's not a cross, nor is it a staff.
Brother, but it still doesn't defeat my point, right? Because my point is that Moses raised the serpent up. You are the one that mentioned the cross. And it doesn't mention anything of anything that resembles a cross. A staff and a pole is technically the same thing because a pole is just an object that goes up straight up, right? It's not an intersection of two or more. A staff is like a straight object. That's really what I meant. So yes, I used the wrong word per se, but conceptually, the word pole and the word staff is technically the same thing.
Staff had a curve for a handle. Don't do that. Staff had a curve for a handle. And a cross has an intersecting pole. So you got two poles. And so I got you. Let's say it ain't a cross. It ain't a staff either.
A staff doesn't, bro. A staff is just a stick. You really think that everyone back in the day had a staff, bro? A staff is just a stick.
Staff had a handle part for it. That's what it was.
No, no, it doesn't have to have a handle to be a staff.
And a cross doesn't have to have a big intersecting point to be a cross.
And you see, this is your mentality, right?
No,
You're coming up here and you're trying to find something wrong with what I'm saying.
no, I'm simply trying
Because,
to say that you
listen, hold up. Let me, bro, I can't hear you, bro. What happened to your volume? We can't hear you.
Let me pull this thing out.
I'm saying that you're on here selling stuff as
So
fact.
hold on, bro.
And so you're
Before I
saying
go to
you're
the
not
next
selling
guest,
it as
before I
fact,
go
but
to
you're
the next
selling
guest,
fact. And you're
before I
attributing
go
it
to
to
the next
people
guest,
and stuff.
before I
You're
go
not
to the
doing that.
next guest, I need to ask you a few questions. What religion are you?
I'm a believer. I'm a follower of the Most High.
So you believe in the Bible?
The word of God is true, and it comes in many forms.
That ain't what I asked you. You believe in the Bible,
I
yes or
just
no?
answered you, though. You're trying to
No,
give
you
me a
didn't answer me. You
preconceived
answered a question that you made up.
No,
I asked you
you're
a
trying to
question.
give me
You ignore my question. Own question and answer your own question instead of answering the question I asked you. I asked you a yes or no question. Where did he go? The devil is the creator. Of course, he ran away. A pole, a rod, a staff, all the same. Bro, look. I didn't drop him. He ran away. It's okay. Nothing. Mighty men run away before Bakanga. You understand? What I'm trying to get the guy to understand is that when I say the devil is the creator, I'm trolling Christians, right? Showing you how you can flip the story however you want to. You can flip the story however you want to. And matter of fact, this makes more sense. This makes more sense.
Sorry, yes, I'm back. I've been listening for the entire event, and poll, post, etc. It's a stick. There is no mention of a cross in any version. Now, some people say he might have gestured or, compared it or said, made the comparison, but that is exegesis. It is reading into the Bible. Thank you, Bakanga.
Bro, thank you. I don't know why he was fighting with me over the word staff and over the word pole. But it's so sad, bro. It's so sad because these religious people, they take everything as an attack. But thank you, bro. Thank you. Let me bring him back up.
If he's back, that's great. I'd love to talk to him.
Bakanga, I'd never run.
I see you run away to go catch your breath, man. It's all good. It's all good. Not everybody can hang in the ring with Bakanga without running away to catch their breath.
Bakanga. Lions don't run.
Running to go catch your breath. It's okay.
Bakanga.
It's okay.
Bakanga. Lions. Where you from? Where you from, Bakanga? Where you from?
I'm from Bakanga.
Lions don't run. Lions don't run. So I have no need to run. And I heard your other guy just came on about the pole and the staff. I heard his point. Well taken.
Bro,
yes.
So let me ask you. You say you're a follower of the way. Are you claiming to be a born again?
Yes.
How old are you, Mr. Black?
53.
You're an old man.
And don't forget it.
Nah, I can't really forget it because as an African man, it's kind of like just natural to identify age. So that I can't help. But, you have to forgive me for the inappropriate nature of the questions I'm going to ask you. Is that okay?
When I hear them, I don't have to judge them as I go.
All right. Are you mad?
Okay, Bakanga, I'll drop down for these questions. I think, but yes, can I make a suggestion to the guest?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Let me let you go first.
Yes. Oh, thank you so much, Bakanga.
Yeah.
In listening to Bakanga, don't take it personally, right? Don't think he's attacking you. He just wants you to listen and think about it. That is it.
I appreciate you, but I think Bakanga's doing a good
appreciate
job
it.
defending himself.
Well, I wouldn't say
Unless you got a
defending.
point to make for you, let Bakanga defend himself. It's his statement I'm reading.
Oh,
If I
no,
go on your
absolutely.
site and see yours, I'll call you.
Oh, absolutely. I understand that, but I would just say
Great.
keep an open mind. I'm agnostic. I
Great.
don't
Hey.
have a pony in the
Hey.
fight, as it were, a horse in the fight.
That's good and well. I want to deal with
You
I deal with
enjoy-
you one-on-one. I deal with them one by one. You know, there's an
You enjoy
orderly
this-
war going on here. There's an orderly fight. Step in the ring one-on-one. Don't come 2-1, one by one.
I
You get
wouldn't
your
see
shot.
it. I wouldn't see it as a fight. All I will say
It's always
is
a fight. It's not fight. This fight is not negative in that connotation. It's simply we're sparring with intellect and understanding. So we're trying to come to or present our points, and that's what I look at as a fight. So it's not a negative
yes.
connotation.
However, it seems to me that you did react.
It seems to me
to
that
his
you want
response.
a chance to spar with Black. Black will give
One
it a chance.
question.
Just
Do
know
you want to
got
see
my
Bakanga
stuff there.
naked?
Send me your page, and I
You
will
want to
jump
see
and
Bakanga
talk with
naked?
you on your page on your statement. Right now, I'm busy dealing with Bakanga. You get your
want
shot.
to see
Come
him
hit me up
naked?
another time. I'm gonna deal with
You
you
want
one
to
by
see him
one.
naked running in the sunshine? You know what I
I'm
mean?
gonna
Do you
deal
want
with you
to
one by
see
one.
him
Let me deal with
exposed?
Bakanga. I don't know who you are. You know, I don't know who you are.
No worries.
This is Black. I'm dealing with Bakanga. You got my email. You got my contact. You got my
I
TikTok.
do.
Hit me up. Let me know where to find you. I'll come on your site and talk to you. Right now, I
I
can't even
would
talk
really
to
like to
Bakanga.
discuss things. I'd really like to discuss things with you further. Thank you. I will disconnect and enjoy the show, the Bakanga show. You enjoy too. Just remember, enjoy it. Do not.
Listen, once again, I will take all your advice on your show. This Bakanga show. I'm rolling with Bakanga.
Well, have fun. Thank you so much.
Good. Good to have you back, Bakanga.
He was just trying to say what I was saying from a different perspective. Why you had to be so hostile, man?
No, I'm not hostile. I'm not going to let you and your crony come and jump and make it a 2-1. You and I, you talk very good. You express yourself very well. Continue to
I'm
do
not
that.
crony.
Continue to do that.
This
Continue
guy
to
is
do
not a
that.
crony.
independent thinker,
Continue
bro.
to do that.
Like,
Listen,
bro,
you've got
listen,
you've
there's
got
no
a
way.
horse in the race. Your emblem
Black,
tells me what you
Black.
believe.
Black.
Your emblem tells me what you believe. So
Black.
you
What-
speak with your
what do I believe?
emblem. I'll talk with you another time.
Hold
What
up,
do I
y'all.
believe?
With all due
Your
respect,
emblem
hold
says
up.
what you believe.
Black,
That's it.
Black. I want you to know this. This is my approach with all due respect, especially with the people that agree with me, right? I don't see them agree with me as though they're doing me a favor. I see them agree with me as genuinely they understand what I'm saying. And
Hey,
we have
listen,
that in common.
I
But
agree.
they are still independent thinking minds that
Hey,
honestly
I agree with you. So
I don't know.
all I'll
They
say was
don't know
this.
me. We're just interacting
Now,
on the internet.
either you
So
and
there's no
I-
need for
you-
you to call anyone. There's no need for you to call
Bakanga.
anyone my cronies. People are not calling.
Bakanga,
It's just that they come to my
you and
channel.
I
It
are
doesn't make
in this
them less
ring.
than me
You
or
and I
anything
were
like
in
that.
this ring, Bakanga. We were having that war like the fellas had in the beginning you're talking about. You and I were in this ring. Anybody else is a tag team or a referee. He ain't no referee, so it's a tag team. He's either out the ring or I'm going to let you spar with him. But I'm going to spar with you. Don't run.
Bro, this is a Royal Rumble. I'm sparring with both of you. Listen, bro, check
Man,
this
you
out.
mean it takes two of you for one of me?
Check this
It
out,
takes
bro.
two of you for one of me, Bakanga?
I am
No,
sparring
no.
with you.
Royal Rumble is for
and I am
everyone.
sparring with him.
Everyone.
Listen, bro.
It
I'm
takes two of
sparring
you
with
for one of me?
and I am sparring
so-
with him.
No.
No, in other words,
Royal
if you
Rumble
go
is
with the
for
Royal
everyone.
Rumble
Everyone
mentality,
is involved.
that means
Everyone is
he
independent.
has decided to join you to get me because I'm the strongest one, so he can get back at you at the
Bro,
end
No.
because
He
you're the
was
weakest
just
one.
making
No.
a point to you to help you
Not
understand
at
something
all.
that you are failing to understand because I seem not to be able to get through to you for you to understand this simple
You said
logic
you weren't trying
that
to
even a
convince me,
child in
Bakanga.
kindergarten
Now
can
that your
understand.
assistant is here, you're changing your mind. You said you weren't trying to convince me. Now that your assistant has showed up, now that the other part of this tag team have come up, you're telling me you're trying to convince me. Which is it? You convincing me, or you just putting the information out? Keep it real now. I'm listening.
Hold on. What did I say I'm trying to convince you of?
Oh boy.
What did I say? What did I say I'm trying to convince you of?
Just now you said
I can answer Bakanga.
You see, the reason why you can't say anything is because I never claimed to be trying to convince you of anything.
Bakanga.
He said the thing.
That goes against the whole point of Bakanga. The whole point of Bakanga is that I am like a mosquito.
Bakanga?
I am like a mosquito that lands on your arm, and I pinch you, and you smack it, boom, and it goes away. And all you remember for a brief moment is that it hurt, right? You should see me like that.
No. I'm like the fella that smacked you, Bakanga. And all you remember is splat. The blood is showing because you were biting me, and I stopped you.
Brother, do me a favor. With all due respect, don't talk over me. Let me speak and come to a complete stop.
Once you do the same thing, Bakanga.
It doesn't matter. Starting from right now, I have the rights to interrupt my guest on my show. Do you acknowledge that?
Anytime.
Okay. You as a guest on my show, you have the right to follow the instructions of the host so that there will be order. That's just how it's designed, right? I need to respect you, but you also need to respect me. I understand that I need to let you speak, but I also have to reserve the right, if I'm not understanding anything, for the sake of my audience, to interrupt you. The problem is that when I do it, guests get angry at me because they think that they are coming to my show to run the show for me. As though when I came up on this show, I just came up here mindlessly. Now, I need to put things in order. So don't see me doing my job to get my show going as me coming at you personally. Nah, it's not your show. You're going to come up here for a minute, then you're going to drop off, right? I'm going to have to keep coming here every day to do what I'm doing because it's me. On your channel, you do the same thing. So on this show, I reserve the right to interrupt you, but you don't reserve the right to interrupt me. Now, if I'm interrupting you, let me do it. And let me do it to the best of my ability, and I will try not to hinder your ability to still convey your message. Just put room in your ability to communicate and consider the fact that every once in a while I will interrupt you. As long as you understand that, you won't get angry at me and we can have a good conversation. Bro,
I'm not angry at you, and I got that.
And accuses me of interrupting them, and I'm telling them that it's part of my strategy. I'm not going to change how I run my show.
That works. Go ahead.
Okay.
It's your show.
You see, I actually like you. Usually religious people that get like you, bro, they irritate me just a little bit, and I just get inappropriate with them until I get their emotions riled up, and then I drop them. But, you know, you told me your age. You're smart. Your bias is nice, it's good. I like your perspective, but you're not the type of person that I need to be necessarily like just stupid with, right? You actually think. I like your way of thinking. You have the basic thing required to be on my show and make my show interesting for exactly what it needs to be. You're a thinker, and you're a thinker who disagrees with me. You're the exact type of person I like to have on my show, matter of fact. It's just that sometimes we all get caught up in it. Now, does it mean that I have to have you here? No, you're not the only one. But you're a thinker. The people listening to us, they get to listen and they don't even get to speak. The ones that can type, they type, but they are listening and they are thinking. And as they're thinking, bro, I promise you they are figuring stuff out, stuff that I can only imagine. I sometimes fantasize the stuff that people figure out by listening to my shows, because I talk about a lot of interesting things with my guests that make people think. The goal is to make people think. Now, if I can slightly control the narrative, I can somehow influence their thinking towards solving the specific problems that I have. My problem, and what's the type of problem that I have that people on the internet can solve? I don't like the way black people are in the world. I don't like some of the byproducts of colonialism. And I think that if we unite ourselves, we can forgive and we can move on. We can strengthen ourselves and we can build a civilization from scratch, using what we have right now as raw material. We can use what we have right now as raw material to redesign a new political system, new religion, with Afro people at the center of it. The technology that we have today for communication actually gives us the ability to organize ourselves in ways that are unprecedented in the history of humanity. Human beings can organize themselves now in a tremendous way. That is the main goal of what I'm trying to accomplish. And I'm trying to do it by simply making people think. regardless of how I do it. So even if I have to piss you off to make you think, that's what Bakanga is
Bakanga.
about. So you shouldn't
Bakanga.
too much come at me with the intention to want to criticize me based on right and wrong. It doesn't really matter to me. You
Bakanga.
should think, you should be more fluid with your thinking when you approach me in order to get through to the guest. Go ahead.
Bakanga. Hello? Bakanga.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Listen, I actually appreciate the conversation. I appreciate the perspective because it gives me a chance to share my perspective and to explore yours. The other thing, though, is I got to run, but I tell you this is so interesting. I have a radio station online called YNVN. This is interesting enough for me. I will send you a message afterwards. We can link. I'm interested in giving you maybe 30 minutes or an hour that we can simulcast this and take this to another level and have your discussion. But you seem to be able to take the disagreement as well as make your point, and that's important. I wanted to make sure that whatever point you're making, that you could substantiate it so it can survive the test of being checked out. I'm interested.
Yeah. If you want to go into really scrutinizing what I believe on a more professional setting, because one thing I love about my TikTok is the fact that I can be casual and I don't have to dress in a suit and look too professional. But something like a radio show, maybe it's casual too, but there's a certain type of professionalism at that level, right? So if I'm coming there with my beliefs, I will come with my real beliefs, and I believe in nothing, and I can explain that to you. As far as everything else that I talk about, I just consider that speculation. So don't take me too seriously. Everything I talk about, I'm just speculating.
It's open. You will have a chance to run it just like you're running this. So I'll send you we'll communicate back and forth. I think it's important for people to question everything.
Yep.
That's why I question everything. So I'll hit you up.
If you ever want to discuss,
and
if you want to discuss
and the gentleman that's speaking as well, he's invited. But I got to run.
For sure, Mr. Black.
Absolutely.
Theology
and language.
I will hit you up privately.
I like it when, like I said, you're a thinker, right? And that's really what's creating the conflict between us, because you're a thinker, and that's good. That's good for our audience, because it's making people grow, and I appreciate that. That's what I appreciate. That's why, like I said, with most guests, bro, most guests like you, if they're not thinkers, I just get rude. And some people have come to think that I don't know how to just behave myself and have like a real conversation. I can do that. It's just that sometimes with religious people, they're easy to tease, right? You have a lot of self-control, because you came up here and you didn't really put your religion out there, and you were able to. I mean, there's a few guests that come up here like you, bro. And trust me, I value that. I value that byproduct of interacting with people like you, that people that think like that. Just stay thinking, stand your ground, don't get too rude, know how to apologize a little bit, keep the conversation going. Don't get too extreme. If people practice this type of communication, even in their relationships, people will solve problems, because there's nothing really wrong with disagreement. The goal is, can you control the energy? Can you both be civil enough to just control the energy so you don't cause too much damage? Can you just consciously do that? Sometimes my guests don't do that because they get too emotional and they say things.
Bakanga, I'm going to run, but I just bear in mind that friction is needed to cause light. And so the differences create sparks. Sparks create new channels of intelligence. It's good. We'll talk.
Indeed. Thank you.
How about light being simply the absence of darkness, or darkness being the absence of light?
What if light is just the darkness changing color? What if there is no darkness and there's no light? What if there is no darkness?
What is a photon?
Imagine that there is no darkness and there is no light. There's just colors, like a rainbow, Whoa. Why do human beings, we like to divide our minds, divide our lives based on right and wrong, good and evil, as though there's not more than that. If you cannot understand that there is much more than just good and evil, there are some things in this world that are not good, that are not evil, but they are clearly something else. If you haven't realized that yet, you are still asleep, my friend, and Bakanga will help you wake up. I will help you wake up. That's why you got to stay tuned on the Bakanga show, right? To a certain extent, I got to give you some value. And if you listen to me often, I will give you value of mind. I spend a lot of time thinking. Thinking is my hobby. It's been my hobby for a long time. I have thought about so many things intentionally, right? I'm not talking about going about life and just living. No, like I have sat down and thought about so many things for a very, very long time. And I figured a lot of things out about how the brain works, on how to really control yourself and allow yourself to observe reality. So I'm not even telling you that I can give you anything. It's more like I can help you.
I would have to say life has a lot of duality. Would you agree? But you
duality, and that's what I'm saying. Duality in of itself is also a cell in a bigger body. What is the bigger body in which duality dwells? Singularity. Did you know that singularity is also a thing? As duality, there are some things in this world that are singularities.
But what I mean is, some people
there are also things in this world. There are also things in this world that are trinity, duality, trinity, singularity, quadrubility, syncability. Listen, y'all, this is what it means to think 10 steps ahead. You have to, if you see something that is about a duality, right? If you see a problem that is in duality and you cannot solve that problem within duality, you need to come out of duality and either go to singularity, in a singularity way of thinking, or you need to go to a trinity way of thinking. So if you have a problem and the problem is a yes or no problem, right? But you can't really go with yes or no. Then you have to incorporate maybe. Maybe it's a trinity. Maybe we'll create a trinity, because now, okay, the answer is either it is a yes or a no or a maybe. What will I do if the answer is yes? What will I do if the answer is no? What will I do if the answer is maybe? These are 3 course of actions. Now you're no longer limited to just maybe. Now, even when you have maybe, you can create something else. Or you can just be like, you know what? I'm just going to make it a singularity. I'm going with yes. Regardless of what the results are, I'm just going with yes. So you make up your mind right there and there. You make it a singularity. You eliminate every option and you make your mind biased towards one singularity. Then you don't have a problem anymore. Because
would you agree that it's okay to say, I don't know?
I don't know in of itself is another way of looking at it. It's another way to answer a question that you don't have an answer for. It's a very good answer to many questions. I don't know. It's a very, very good answer. In fact, it's a cheat code of our reality. I don't know is the back door to peace of mind. Hold up. Listen to me, my people. I don't care who you are and what religion you practice. Listen to these words. Now let Bakanga give you some value. Saying to yourself that I don't know is a cheat code to peace of mind. And I'm not saying that you should just like guess that you don't know, right? No, you should actually think about a situation. And when you come to the conclusion that you don't know, just accept that you don't know. And you can live your life and have peace. If you're so desperate to know,
you can learn.
No, if you're so desperate to know things that you cannot know, your mind is a machine that can accidentally create alternate realities. Your mind trying to cope with your curiosity that you haven't tamed. If you don't tame your curiosity, your mind would make up answers for you. And you become what is known as self-deluded. That's how religions and different legends are born and different denominations. There is a Christian denomination in which the devil is the creator. And they use the Bible as their holy gospel. Because all these people are confused. They're confused. Why are they confused? Not because they have their own beliefs, no. But because they have their own beliefs and they will not focus on their own beliefs, but they want to go and focus on everybody else's beliefs.
Thank you, Bakanga.
I heard someone say something. And it really enlightened me in such. I mean, it just took my thinking and my imagination leaps and bounds. I'm gonna make a show where I really go into depth about my understanding on how to utilize imagination. Imagination is a tool. If you ain't never heard that anywhere, I just told you today. Imagination is a weapon. Matter of fact. Imagination is a weapon. When you are facing another human being, the reason why he doesn't need to come armed with any type of weapon of warfare is because his most powerful weapon is his imagination. The most powerful weapon of a human being is the imagination. The imagination is very real to the person experiencing the imagination. Not objectively, but subjectively. It is like your own, it's like your own dream. It's like your own diarrhea. It's like your own fart. It's personal to you like that. Your imagination is real to you like those things. It's the private part of your mind. Knowing how to use it is not something you should take for granted. It is how you solve any problem in anywhere. We go to school to learn how to organize our imagination. So we learn methods and techniques of thinking, ways of thinking. Thinking is a skill. Did you know that thinking is a skill? Or there is a type of thinking that is a skill. Should I say that? There is a type of thinking that is a skill. A person who cannot think for themselves. Let me tell you how you can know that you're a person who cannot think for himself. You're always waiting for somebody else to tell you something to make you feel good. If you can't just sit down and just be thinking to think and make yourself laugh, oh my gracious. Listen to me. If you can't just sit down and think and make yourself laugh, you're a person who doesn't know how to think. This is not an insult. This is just telling you that you can still learn. I can teach you. This is simply telling you that you can still learn. You know what to think. I'm not saying that you don't know what to think. When you went to school, they told you what to think. What you don't know is how to think on your own when no one is telling you what to think. Who tells you what to think in your dreams? You, right? What religion are you in your dream? Are you a Christian in your dreams? When you go to sleep, do you go to sleep as a Christian? Religion breeds ignorance. It's not necessarily that they have to think like I do, so much like what I do, right? It's that they have to understand the principles on why you have to think a certain way. Thinking so when I say that God is in your imagination, I'm not tripping with y'all. What I have just done is that I have gone 360. I have gone through the whole circle of truth with you guys. I have enveloped the entire yin and the yang. I have showed you how God does not exist and how God exists. That is what I am doing to you. I am showing you the complete yin and the yang, the whole circle of truth. Right here, God does not exist. Right here, God exists. What is right here? This is reality. What is right here? This is imagination. Your imagination is real within the vessel. It is your inner reality. Your imagination, another word for it is your inner reality. But what we mean by reality, when we say as humans, is the outer reality. There is no God in the outer reality. God can only exist in the inner reality, in your mind. So the Christian God is only real because Christians believe that he is real. So he is real to them. In their imaginations, he is real. They see him. They really do, y'all. I'm not tripping. I understand how the process works. You know who sees him too in their imagination? The atheist. They see him in the imagination, but the atheists just don't. They don't make a big deal about it. They don't see him in reality. Neither do the religious people. No one has ever seen an angel. All those things are stories you made up in your mind, because it's okay to make up things in your mind. It's not a bad thing to have an imagination, y'all. You know how they say you shouldn't spend beyond your means? The same thing is true with imagination. Imagining is good, but it's often advised that you shouldn't try to imagine things that are above your outer reality. You should always try to make your inner reality to match your outer reality if you want to have a balance in life. If you imagine things that are so far-fetched away from your outer reality, you will put yourself into delusion. You'll be like sleepwalking. I really wish you guys could understand what I'm saying. I'm not really attacking anybody. Try to imagine what it would be like if you worked 7 days a week for the next 2 months straight. How much money would you be able to save? And you'll be able to pay off some of those credit card debts. You really want that vacation next year, right? You maybe got a 50% chance of getting that promotion. You need to imagine a way. Imagine a way that you can finish next semester. Imagine a way that you guys can put up a better security system in the quarter, wherever you are in Africa. Imagine a way, imagine a solution to a real problem in the real world. You should be using your imagination to imagine solutions to real problems that we have in the real world. When you use your imagination to imagine heaven and hell, and then you spend your life living your life chasing that heaven and hell that you cannot reach by going left and right. Jesus told you that the kingdom of God is within you. He's telling you that it's something you imagine. Don't get too caught up in your imagination that you forget to actually live in the real world. If you like to get together with your family and pray in the name of Jesus, and you guys all imagine that, good, do it. Do it. If you want to go to church and dance and give 10% of your money, do it. Just don't be deluded to the fact that it's all in your imagination. It's all in your imagination. It is the balance. Let me tell you the true context of the word spiritual. The word spiritual describes a state in which a person has found balance between their inner reality and their outer reality. Once you have found balance between your outer reality and inner reality, anything you imagine, it comes true, because your imagination is always at the same level. You see everything. Those are the people we call geniuses. But everyone is a genius. Every human being has the potential to be a genius. What makes a genius a genius? What makes a genius a genius? Have you ever wondered, have you ever asked yourself, what makes a genius a genius? It's the fact and the way that they think. If you don't think that you're a genius, it's because you don't know how to think. Anyone that knows how to think will naturally see themselves as a genius. Now, I'm not saying they should go around bragging about it, but human beings are all geniuses. Some are active and some are inactive. Most humans are inactive geniuses. Are you an inactive genius? Do you know what inactive geniuses do? They go to church and pray, then come home and sleep and hope that God will bless them. You're a genius because you have the ability to solve problems. Anybody that has problem-solving skills, even if it's just 1%, you're a genius. You're a genius. Your religion is trying to convince you that you're not. Why? Because your religion is not really your religion. Your religion is a religion that somebody else created. That God you're worshiping, somebody else created that God. That's why that God is toxic to your imagination. You're trying to imagine a God that somebody else created instead of imagining your own God from scratch. You're trying to imagine Jesus. Why are you trying to imagine Jesus? Who is even Jesus? Know the difference between reality and imagination. Imagination is the inner being of a human being. Imagination, that is what the Buddhist monks are searching for when they sit still for days in the same place. That's what people are seeking when they are fasting. Imagination. To the most untrained mind, the imagination is like a bottomless pit. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what makes me so confident to tell you all these things I am saying about imagination? What evidence do I have? Here is the evidence I have. Have you ever seen children? Children are natural users of imagination. How is it possible that when we are human beings, we can use our imagination better than when we are adults? Indoctrination, religion, and education. Give your child a toy and see how he plays with it. He uses his imagination to control his happiness. But he is not deluded as to the reality. So he cries when he is powerless. Human beings, all of you, anybody here that has ever been in the presence of babies knows that what I'm saying is true. Babies have amazing, babies, anyone that has observed a baby grow, babies have an amazing imagination. Human beings naturally, human beings are imagining machines. Man, imagine. Man, imagine. Listen, y'all. You might ask me the source of this knowledge. Nothingness is real. It's just one of those things that cannot be communicated by words. Did you know that there are some truths that human beings cannot communicate between themselves using words? Do you know why husbands and wives have sex? Do you know why human beings have sex? Symbolically, having sex is the only way that a man and a woman can show affection to each other. That's the only real way. Everything else they do is to get to that end. That's why you see it happening everywhere. As sad as it is,
Sex is what is keeping the world going. Is that imagination? Or is that real? Is that imagination or is that real? What I just said right now, is that imagination to you or is that real? Let me look up the statistics of pornography. Statistics. All right. 40 million US adults regularly visit internet pornographic websites. 10% of US adults admit to having an addiction to internet pornography. 17% of all women struggle with porn addiction. 20% of men and 13% of women admit to accessing porn while at work. Talk about weird facts. 70% of women admit to keeping their cyber activities secret. 1 of 3 visitors of all adult websites is a woman. Women favor chat rooms twice as much as men. About 40 million American adults regularly visit pornographic websites on the internet. Every second, more than 28,000 people are watching porn on the internet. As we are speaking right now, guaranteed, more than 28,000 people are watching porn as we're speaking right now. Is that imagination or is that real? Is that imagination or is that real? That shows you how our society depends on sex. Right? And why is sex a thing? There's that need for the intimacy by touch, sensationalization. Because a woman cannot verbally express her affection to a man. They have to. Just like that, there are some principles in this world that cannot be communicated just by words. There are some things that even us humans do that we can't communicate with just words. Some things can only be communicated by taking specific actions. There are some things that are real that you can only access through your imagination. I said it. There are some things that are real that you can only access through your imagination. But you first have to understand what the imagination is and where it is. Then you will know how to get there and what to do. It's a narrow path. Few there be that found it. The path to imagination. Have you ever asked yourself why you can think? Have you ever just looked at yourself in the mirror and be like, why can I think? How am I thinking right now? Like, have you ever asked yourself this question? How am I thinking right now? Like, why do I move the way I move? Why do I? Let me guess. You do ask yourself this question. Each and every one of you, look at yourself in the mirror and ask yourself these questions. You ask yourself these weird questions that you will never ask in the presence of anybody else. Bakanga is the way, my friends. "100% of the people that use the word soul don't know what a soul is. Because the soul is a 100% imaginary thing. The idea of souls is 129,000 billion percent, trillion, quadrillion. Times. Far-fetched. Bakanga is in the nothingness of all things. Show me anything that does not eventually become nothing. Nothingness is the mother of all things. If God is the father, nothingness is the mother. You know how you say God came out of nothing, right, you Christians? You're right. God came out of nothing because nothing is God's mother. Why are you challenging the power of Bakanga? Nobody can challenge the power of nothingness, not even me. Even I am subject to Bakanga. Even I will turn to nothing. You see this fleshy human being in front of you? One day I am going to be dried up flesh with maggots everywhere, dead and gone. Dead and gone. Dead and gone. So I'm gonna enjoy life while I can. You gotta enjoy it while you can. Because all things eventually go into the nothingness. Yes, Jesus wins. Jesus wins in your imagination. I know that it is real. Bakanga would never return because Bakanga never left. Bakanga is no one, so Bakanga has to be nowhere. Bakanga, nothingness, is your subconscious being. I wish I could enlighten you more today. But once you burst out of that bubble of Christianity, so many things begin to open to your eyes. Some people think that living Christianity means that you go to a worse place, right? They think that it's a downgrade. Living your religion is always an upgrade, no matter what. Living your religion is always an upgrade. Because either you're going to learn that you cannot survive without your religion, then you would go back. Or you will find something better than your religion, and guess what? You will keep on living life. It's never a bad thing to question or to leave your religion. Hey, moderators, there's some people in the comment section that need to be honorably ushered out permanently. I leave it to your gracious ability to intervene. I am not an atheist. I understand the atheist though. This is at the core of African traditional truth. This is the truth of the ancestors. Bakanga, the nothingness of all things. Whoa. Listen, the world would actually be a much better place if everyone was an atheist than if everyone was a religious person. Because being an atheist doesn't mean that you don't have to believe in God. Being an atheist is just that you understand that believing in God doesn't really matter. Religion, listen, human beings have had to adapt, and evolution is not necessarily only genetic. Evolution is also mental. Our way of thinking, our brains have developed. We are learning and we are evolving mentally as human beings. Religion was necessary in an age when most people couldn't think for themselves. So greedy men would take thousands of men to battle over being heartbroken because of a woman. And those men called themselves kings. Do you know how many thousands of men died because some king somewhere was in his feelings and his emotions? In those generations, religion was necessary because most people didn't think, like I said. But now, we are in a world where we can think for ourselves a little bit much more than they could. We don't necessarily need gods and devils to scare us. Absolutely not. You do not need religion for morals. I asked earlier, does not believing in God automatically make a person a bad person? No. You're not a bad person if you don't believe in God. So why does anyone need to believe in God? Morality doesn't have to be the keystone to live life. Survival is. Anyone that claims that morality is the keystone to live life is a liar. It is survival. At the end of the day, morality doesn't matter. When it comes time to survive, you're going to do what you have to do to survive. You're going to end whoever you want to end. You're going to fight whoever you have to fight. Morality is not the ultimate standard by which we live. Human beings, everyone is all about self-preservation. It's about self-preservation. You don't need God for morality. I wouldn't say it's a theory for how we exist. What I would tell you is that we should stop using the word existence to describe ourselves. Words do us an injustice. And really, maybe I should reserve what I'm about to say right now for my subscriber lives only, because there's real knowledge out here. There's real knowledge out here. There's real knowledge out here. We see that human beings are a product of transformation. Next to our ability to think, the next most powerful thing that we have is our ability to multiply. Our ability to multiply is insane. Listen, if something happened to the human race and we needed to multiply, there's a reason why there's naturally more women than men. If you allow the gene pool, the gene pool is somehow coded to produce more women than men. Because men, they could just put those babies in. After 9 months, every woman can cycle. Every woman can just do her time. For 5 years, you just carry babies for 5 years. 5 babies, back to back to back to back. And you come back in 20 years and see how human beings multiply. We multiply like flies, like ants. That's a special ability. That's what we see. So whoever made us or wherever we came from, that we don't know. What we do know is that we are what we are. And we are right here. Let us do what we can. Let us arm ourselves with knowledge and wisdom. Just in case one day we have a true breakthrough. What say ye about homosexuals? Whatever you do in your bedroom is not my business. That's what I have to say. Like, honestly. Whatever you do in your bedroom, with whoever you do in your bedroom, that is your business, not mine. Not mine. Toto. Kokobiako. Fiakwa. No, you don't have to be an atheist. You don't have to be anything. Be what you want, but you don't have to be anything. Don't get me wrong. Just because I say something good about something doesn't mean I'm necessarily endorsing. I'm not endorsing anything in particular, right? I'm just laying all the options before you, including the option of Bakanga, which is the nothingness of all things. The nothingness of all things. Those who understand the nothingness of all things know everything. Oh man, you're still trying to subscribe. Ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't subscribed yet, I don't know what you guys are waiting for. Our goal is to get to 100 subscribers. When did we get to 31 subscribers? Am I tripping? Am I tripping? Oh, shoosh. I see what that was. I see what that was. I just did it randomly though. Oh man. Yo, don't be so aggressive. You can subscribe for this. It's all good. It's not harmful for you. You'll be doing the world a favor. We're going to put your subscription fee to good use. Melissa, I did not see you when you subscribed. But shout out to you, sister. Shout out to all of you kings. Woo! Watch and see. Listen, y'all. I'm about to bring you guys I'm about to bring you a quality of content in a unique way. Very unique. Very unique content. But it would help you think. It will help you show you how you can make something out of nothing. Right? So the whole point of everything I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make something out of nothing. What a person would consider nothing. What is it? What would you consider nothing? Give it to me. Give me anything that you would consider nothing. And see what I make out of it. Bakanga. So it doesn't matter if your boss at work is stepping on you. If your coworkers don't respect you. if people talk crap about you, it doesn't matter what other people do. What would you do? You are the Bakanga. You are the nothingness from which all things originate. What then would you do? Who are you competing with? Why get angry when subjects of your creation are simply doing what they're supposed to do? Let me tell you guys something about my imagination. When I imagine myself, I see a throne and I'm sitting on that throne. The cool thing is that every time I think about it, I can't think about it without seeing myself walk towards that throne and sit on it. And I see myself sitting on that throne in whatever attire I am having at that specific time when I'm thinking like that. So if I have a problem, I go into my inner chambers and go and sit on the throne of my mind, and I just relax and I think. In the real world, maybe 2-3 minutes have passed. But in my head, 5 years can go by in 3 minutes when I have a problem that I need to solve. ASAP. You understand? My imagination is not bound by space and time. Your imagination is not bound by space and time either. There's a reason why ideas are born. Your imagination is infinity. You can make the throne. I'm just telling you what's in my mind. I don't know about your mind. Maybe some people are sitting on a cloud, on a tree, on a mountain in their mind. But when I imagine myself, I literally, like right now as I'm talking to you guys, I had to think about it. I went and sat down on the throne in my mind. And you know, when I'm on that throne, I act like I'm in charge. I take control. I take control. Neil is in line and Arabian. I don't know if I want to bring up another guest. Hold up, guys. Be patient, please. You know, when people smoke marijuana, they're trying to get high. They're trying to find the throne of their mind so they can think. Right? Am I wrong? They're trying to find the throne. Those are people who are trying to find that place of balance inside themselves. That's what my imagination is, and it's real to me, but it's not real to you. What's real to you is your imagination. And I'm wondering if your imagination works this way, the way I'm saying mine works. Maybe yours works differently. I don't know. You know what that means? That means that if you're sad, no one is responsible for your sadness but you. If you're depressed, no one is responsible but you. Because no one is saying you shouldn't go into the room of depression, right? When you go into your head, you open that room, that depression room, and you go and sit in there. No one is saying that you can't do it. Just don't stay in it. Like, bro, come on, man. Why are you gonna go and chill in the depression room and just stay in there, bro? You got work. You got responsibility. You go into the depression room, clean it up, make sure it doesn't get too dirty, and then come out. If you're depressed, you've been spending too much time in your depression room. It's as easy as mentally in your imagination. Just open the door and come out. See yourself coming out of it. That's one of the easiest ways to utilize your imagination in an effective way. Just like you can imagine God in Jesus in the clouds, whatever, and you believe it. If you're depressed, simply open that room and believe it, that you're out of that depression. That is the proper way to use your imagination and your beliefs within the confines of your inner reality. Your beliefs and imagination should govern your inner reality. But don't confuse that for your outside reality. Your outside reality is what we humans call reality, because we only see the outside of each other. That's how all ideas are born. That's how all ideas are born. Of course, if you're depressed, go see a psychiatrist, go see someone, right? All I'm telling you is that those people can only do one thing for you. They can only help you open that door of depression in your mind and help you step out of it. That's what they're trying to do. I'm literally giving you the same information, just I'm giving you a home kit. If you are depressed right now, or you're like suffering from guilt of anything you've done, you're wondering if you should turn yourself in to the cops or to the authorities, or you're hiding a secret from someone that you think maybe you should tell them the secret, you have the weapon of your imagination and you can figure a way out. Just calm down and use your imagination. If you want to imagine Jesus helping you, do it. And that's what helps you. You want to imagine Muhammad helping you? Imagine Muhammad. You see? I'm not saying don't believe in Jesus. No, Jesus can come in handy. You can just imagine Jesus whenever you need his help. If he do help you, good. If he doesn't, well, I guess your imagination wasn't strong enough. Or maybe you can be logical. Bakanga is the way. Bakanga is not a person. Bakanga is no one. Nowhere doing nothing. Bakanga is no one, nowhere doing nothing. With nobody. Who knows? Maybe the third eye is the throne. Maybe the third eye is the throne. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thank you to everyone that came on to the Bakanga show today. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit the subscription button. We're gonna start some interviews yet. I have some street interviews that I'm gonna be bringing, and those street interviews is gonna be me interviewing homeless people and asking them real questions about real life. Asking them about God and what they think about God. I'm going to ask homeless people what they think about God. Why God can't help them out of the street. Why God let them end up homeless. Let's see what those at the bottom of what we call society think about God. Because I bet y'all they believe in God, though God don't help them out. Someone is giving me some good advice. It kind of scares me too, bro. Chocolate finger. It scares me a little bit too. In every way possible. That's why I love TikTok. I was really reluctant to start putting stuff on YouTube, right? I love the small community. I want the job. I want the job to be an influencer and to influence this generation. In my own unique way, be it as it may. And I'm not going to be an obstacle in anybody's path. My intent is, listen, y'all, my intent and my way of thinking allows me to flow. I like that I was able to thank everyone that contributed to help us come up with the word Bakanga, right? Thank you for helping us come up with the word Bakanga. Because I was able to take that word Bakanga and represent and use it as some type of logo or symbol for this idea of nothingness that I've always understood in the last 6 years. It took me 6 years to understand nothingness. And it began, actually, the way I came to be curious about nothingness is when I was attempting a certain discipline when I was back in Texas. I must have been, 23? And I was attempting a weird ancient discipline that I got my hands on. And it's supposed to help you overcome your fears by putting you in these frantic states of mind where you have to confront the things you're afraid of the most vividly while sitting still. That was the first time in my life that I actually got introduced to the idea that nothingness is something. And then my deconstruction from Christianity just kind of started flowing down the line. And you see the truth. You see the truth. I'm not afraid of anything in this world. Right now. Not pain. Not suffering. Not a tragic story. There is nothing I can imagine that life can throw at me that can take away my peace of mind. Like, I mean, what exactly can happen to me that hasn't happened to somebody before me? I understand. And because of that, I am able to flow like water. You see, water doesn't resist anybody. And yet nobody can stop water from flowing. It doesn't matter how big of a wall. You give it time, the water will break through that wall. When water is flowing downhill, it follows the path of least resistance, like a line that has been drawn. It goes looking for the nooks and crannies. Wherever there is a way, it finds it. It just goes. You don't need to pave a road for it. You don't need to to have a destiny for it. Nah. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming to Bakanga Land today. I appreciate everyone coming to Bakanga Land, and please make yourself a permanent dweller and a permanent citizen of Bakanga Land by subscribing. Because as we grow this nation, listen, I am declaring Bakanga, the nation of Bakanga, the first cyber nation. I have looked into the future, and I have seen that the internet is going to evolve to where we will have cyber nationalities. And because of that, I have decided to create mine now. You can laugh at me, you can think it's crazy, no problem. But Bakanga is also a cyber nation. We're going to make Bakanga to resonate in people's ears so people can ask themselves, what does Bakanga mean? And then you just tell them Bakanga means nothing. The metaverse, people don't even understand what the metaverse is, but metaverse itself is just a prelude to something that some of you can only dream of. We don't need no currency right here in Bakanga. Listen to me, y'all. Everything is numbers. If you look at the way our society is growing, you can predict how far technology is going to grow in the next 40 years, 20 years. You can see the future, especially of civilization. It's all numbers. It's numerical. Invest time. People spend so much time in entertainment these days. We don't even take time to think about real things. We think that some things we don't have to think about because it's not our job. Bakanga is the way that no one can resist. Once you know what Bakanga is, you will know that it's the way. It's the true way, not Jesus. It's truer than Jesus. Jesus can help you, Bakanga can. And then Bakanga is also in your imagination, just like Jesus. Mind you. The difference is that Bakanga is not a toxic imagination. Bakanga is not a toxic imagination. It's an idea. It's an idea that opens the reserves of your consciousness. You know that we haven't figured out the nature of consciousness yet, right? As human beings, we haven't figured that out. Sooner or later, we would. Bakanga is nothing. So how can Bakanga give you anything? Bakanga is not trying to give you anything. Bakanga can give you nothing. It's not about giving or receiving. Bakanga, listen, if you want someone to give you something, go to Jesus, go to God. Bakanga is liberation from needing anything. Liberation. And if we are liberated together, we make each other get better. The more we spend time together with a liberated mindset. Now, everybody's words matter because there's no longer like a word of God that matters, right? There's not a central word that matters. So everybody's words matter. See, when you go to church, churches don't promote creativity because only one person's word matters there. Imagine a church of 5,000 people and only one person's words matter, and it's not even a person that shows up. Can you imagine what would happen if 5,000 people's words matter in your church? We need to start a movement that say all words matter. All words matter. If you have sinned, forgive yourself. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, Christians, this one is power. What I'm about to tell you right now is true power. If you sin, forgive yourself. Just say to yourself, I forgive myself, and that's how it works. No one can forgive you but you. Because you are the only one that thinks that you did wrong. If you don't think that you did wrong, you wouldn't need forgiveness. So if you think you did something wrong, forgive yourself too. It is the one in which the guilt dwells that is responsible to remove the guilt. You don't need God to forgive you because you can forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. And this applies to non-religious people as well. If you have done anything that is bothering your conscience and causing you to be guilty, forgive yourself. There is no power greater than you that can forgive you. Forgive yourself and then deal with the consequences. Forgive yourself. Go back into the nothingness. Imagine the nothingness to be like a pool. Dip yourself in it and swim, and when you come out, you let everything, it washes out everything. There's nothing left when you come out of the pool of nothingness. Nothing. No anger, no hatred. You don't need to hate nobody. You don't need to be angry at nobody. It's a way of thinking. Woo. I wish I could answer your question today, but my time has come, ladies and gentlemen. I got to go because unfortunately, but fortunately, I have a job and I have to go to my job, my real job. But I'm glad I was able to spend this time with you, and I would be uploading this live on YouTube in the next 10 hours. In fact, in the next 4 hours. I'll upload it to YouTube. You can go back and rewatch it. Definitely. Go and follow me on YouTube. Like it. I'm not really big on trying to push it right now. So I'm just going to let it grow naturally. Just by letting you guys know that it's there. And then maybe we can use YouTube to make something more substantial. Maybe something more official. Something out there like that. But for now, I'll just put this live. I'll put the replays of the live on them. And I have other channels as well, if you didn't know that. And my goal is to create some sort of network, right? Eventually, I'll stop being the host and be more like a moderator. So, eventually, I'm going to start mixing that in. I'll let other people come in and talk to each other. And I'll just be like the moderator. I'll be like, hey, you talk for 1 minute, you talk for 2 minutes. Like that. I'm going to start doing that. So, if you have any important topic you want to talk about, message me. Anybody, if you have a specific person you want to debate, that's in the comment section. Message me and message me the topic that y'all want to debate, and I will just give you guys a day and time that we can all come here and do it. We'll start from there. If you want to debate any specific topic with anyone, let me know. I'm also going to try to reach out to people that are influential out there and have interviews with them. Let's do that. The first commandment is that there is no commandment. That's the first and only commandment of Bakanga. Peace be with you all. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and have a fantastic day or a terrible day, wherever you are, whichever one you have. Life is life. Deal with it. Don't complain. Don't cry about it. Just use your imagination. Goodbye, my friends, and I am out of here.